It's like reverse Delta Green.
Yeah.
You are the unnatural thing.
Yeah.
Trying to remain hidden.
Yeah.
From other things in the world while doing stuff.
Except sometimes the artifact that was stolen turns out to have been stolen by a vampire from a rival clan.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. I just, to me, that felt like a big question of like, I get the mechanics of the system and I get the political structure of the system, but I didn't feel like I really knew what playing it would look like story-wise, what kind of tale we're going to be
kind of like
in.
how Nick's thought it was going to be, Delta Green is going to be like a 40K game.
That's what I didn't want to happen.
Mm-hmm. And he thought this was going to be a ballroom dancing game.
Yeah.
No, there was a world
Which it
I
is,
thought
and
was
that's what you're going to
ballroom
write, right?
It actually can be a ballroom dancing game.
Yeah. I also like the idea that like the artifacts get stolen by some nuisance human that's part of. I don't know, they talked something about
You
some
guys
organization they're in.
Need to play Bloodlines. Vampires Masquerade Bloodlines 1. Just do it.
Is it like a story like book thing, or is it like a?
No, it's like a third person or first person shooter. However you want to play it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
I don't know why I imagined like the first Fallout.
One of them is like that.
I don't know. I was imagining like Warhammer 40K. Welcome to System Exploration by Unfortunate Ones. I'm Sav.
I'm Nix.
And I'm Greythorn.
And today we are going to be doing a session 0 in the beginnings of our exploration of Vampire The Masquerade. Long time coming. I can't believe you read through as much as you've read through. Even if you skimmed, I can't believe it. There's so much to read for Vampire.
It is a thick book.
And you only read one, right?
I only read the version 20 revised edition. There's a 5th edition out there, which is more 5th edition, you know. When we think of 5th edition, it is quite literally like the 5th edition of Vampire, like the 5e D&D.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try one of the ones based on older games, and there are versions of these games that are way older.
Okay.
And are more interesting, to say the least.
This is the 20th anniversary edition.
Yes. So it's the 20th anniversary edition, which goes back and takes things from various older versions and kind of recompiles them and reworks them a little bit to make it work out better as a game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What editions have come out since? Like how far back are we digging in terms of releases?
I think this came out in like mid 2010s, I think. And I'm not sure how many came out since then, but the current mainstay version is 5th.
Okay. Understood.
And that includes their other, universe of games that all exist in the same universe.
Yeah.
So like Hunter, Mage,
There's so
Werewolf,
much universe.
Wraith,
What's it
stuff
called?
like that.
Something of Darkness?
World of Darkness.
World of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So, Vampire the Masquerade. So, if you guys are like me, I know these two are not, and you are PC gamers, you probably came across a game called Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines sometime in like 2002 when it released, but I think most people ended up playing it more like 2010, 2008, somewhere around then. It was an amazing RPG. It was a fantastic game, and its main downfall was the fact that Valve didn't want it released on their engine before Half-Life 2 came out. So it kind of had a bit of a pit stop.
So the jiggle physics suffered from this.
The jiggle physics did not suffer.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh. I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever heard of that game.
Yeah, it's not too well known, really. It's because of that. It's because they like both rushed and like had to pause their production on the game because Valve specifically, because it was built on the Source engine. Mm-hmm. They wanted the first new Source engine game released to be Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
So they had to put things on pause and kind of almost threw it into a little bit of a dev hell like every other Vampire game.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a truly narrative-first system despite all of the stats and rolls and all the rules that you might find on this beautiful character sheet here, I know that you have already commented on how many attributes there are.
Yeah, when I first looked at the sheet when you gave it to us, I saw that there were 9. I was like, oh,
9
almost,
attributes and like fucking 30 skills or abilities.
but not even that. It was just like usually when I look at a lot of games, especially even like the quote unquote more modern takes on TTRPGs, there's usually seems to be a trend at like
6.
the reduction 5, 4. Like you want to have 6 is like the minimum or like the maximum you want to
usually,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes you just change the names of things slightly.
Morkborg had 3.
I know it was 4.
4.
4
So
if you count
Morkborg
toughness, yeah.
Yeah, had 4 attributes. So when I saw 9 here, I was like, oh, it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. And they break them down into physical, social, and mental, which is important for character creation. But before we get to that, talk about Vampire a bit. Vampire is a world where everything is bad, more or less. Everything is kind of coming out of the dark reaches of the imagination. You have the lore begins back in the days of Cain and Abel, where Cain kills his brother out of frustration for being sort of shrugged off by God. And then God says, you know what, Cain? Fuck you. No one can ever kill you. Go wander the earth. He became the first vampire.
Oh.
Yes, there's an actual quote from the Book of Genesis in there.
Sick.
Yeah, I don't remember the actual quote. So from then on, he has his children, his childer. They become the second generation of vampires. Then you have the third generation of vampires that are often referred to as the antediluvians in the game's lore.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sire forced the Methuselahs, and then they sire forced the elders, or whichever, blah, 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 all the way down to about the 15th generation of vampire, which hits the modern era. The 15th being known as Thin Bloods, being the heralds of Gehenna, the end of the world, and the 15th generation are unable to sire vampires. That is a quick rundown of this game's lore.
Oh.
Just as a quick, I'm not sure if you know this. I've always heard the Masquerade as like a reference to like a veil of how like things like you hide the truth from people. Is that how the context that this game uses the Masquerade?
Yes, so that is a very important facet of the lore itself.
Okay.
So in the running lore, you have like 3 major sects of vampires. You have the Camarilla, who also known as the Ivory Tower. They consider themselves the society of vampires, like the one true society of vampires. Then you have the Sabbat that stand completely opposed to them. They're more like the violent, we do this because we are greater than mortals.
Sure.
We're the vampires that will break into your house, kill everyone, and then leave because that's just our thing. And then you have the Anarchs. They're more aligned with the Camarilla, but they don't like the whole hierarchy that the Camarilla has set up. So they kind of want to replace the power that they have and redistribute it. Think of them more like revolutionaries or
Sure.
lose your Twitter kids in a small sense. The Masquerade is what the Camarilla have established to prevent vampire society from being hunted down and figured out.
Okay.
So in the lore, there is a second crusade where hunters went around just killing vampires. And the Camarilla is like, okay, we've lived too much of a decadent life. We've been doing whatever the heck we want. We've been feeding on people. We've been killing people. We've been doing political shenaniganery too out in the open. So we're establishing the Masquerade.
Yeah.
You cannot break the Masquerade. That is the most important tenet of the game.
Sure.
If you do, you need to absolve it fast, because if you allow people to understand that, oh, there are vampires that are operating the city, hunters are going to show up, then they're going to start killing us.
So
It kind of has like that G&G feel where it's like you could break the rules, but if you break the rules,
someone's going to come for you.
Someone's going to come for you, and the more they come for you, like the harder it gets.
You could have a guy with a crossbow trying to kill you because he's a hunter. It's his job to kill vampires. Or you could have Camarilla coming for you, your own people, to hunt you down because you're a dangerous thing, and they don't want you.
The more you don't resolve the situation.
So I shouldn't, of the equivalent, flash my vampire badge everywhere.
Exactly.
I tell you, the first thing he's going to do is be like, I need to buy a coffee from the 7-Eleven, and they're going to be like, well, you need money. And he's like, no, just give it to me. And they're going to be like, no. And he's going to be like, I don't know what to do in this situation, guys. I'm just going to show my fangs.
I am here to suck your blood. Yeah, so
it's funny, but like, sorry, I'm fucking hijacking what you're saying.
Go ahead.
But one of my first interpretations when I heard the title of the game was I initially thought the Masquerade was like a masquerade party. Like, it's just a big, like, oh, it's a game about a big vampire party?
I mean, it's where the subcontext of the word masquerade comes from, was masquerade parties.
Sure, but that's like...
You don't know who's who at a party.
Yeah, of course. But it's still just like, that's like, oh, this is a game about big vampire parties. I guess that's fine. You know, you go have fun being a vampire. You go...
It's a really versatile game. You could be at a masquerade party in the 1700s France, or you can be at a blood rave.
Yeah, I thought it was like some weird like sex, drugs, and rock and roll vampire. I guess you're just having fun, fucking around as a vampire. Like,
no, that's when Gray pulls this into you one place.
Listen, Kindred, it's your job to make sure there's enough chips at the party. Yeah. So, and of course, there's all the little tie-ins with the other parts of the world. You have, like werewolves, various other undeads. You have hunters. You have magi, people who just have the ability to understand magic. Though they probably wouldn't be too important in our game, but they all exist in the same universe.
Sure.
Where do we go from there? So, one of the big things, the things that turns a mortal into a vampire, is the embrace. It is done by a vampire feeds on a person, drains them almost all their blood, and just as they're about to die, they put some of that blood back in them, their own blood, and they rise as what they call kindred, vampire. There are...
But the 15th generation
cannot sire any vampires.
Do we play as the 15th?
You could.
Okay, so not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Gotcha.
I think generally they suggest to be like a 13th or 12th generation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I have notes, but now that I'm actually here doing this, it's like, these notes don't really work out for how I want to present.
Every time I DM for you guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this might not be important, but like if you are a 12th generation and you sire a vampire, is that the equivalent of having like being a 12th generation?
No, you sire a 13th generation. So whenever vampires sire a new vampire, they're one generation younger.
Okay. That makes perfect sense. I just wasn't sure how the context of how the branching worked in this.
New generations are weaker. Old generations are stronger, just by the nature of like the dilution of the blood.
It's a common trope in like vampire, storytelling.
Yeah, there's a lot of like a mix of inspirations for various different vampire stories.
Yeah.
All right, so gone through generations, we've gone through Masquerade. You might hear Gehenna every once in a while as like a story plot point. That's just like the end of the world. It's the apocalypse, the end times.
It's our goal, right?
No.
Oh.
Most vampires want to avoid Gehenna to the point where they even reject Thin Bloods from existing because they're the heralds of the Gehenna from their vampire lore. You have the Jihad, although it's spelled with a Y instead of an I because they want to be culturally sensitive, I suppose. It's just like, that's what they call the struggle for power that vampires have against each other, because not all vampires are friends. They establish their domains, they become lords of their domains, and if someone's stepping on their turf, Jihad, we fight. We kill them.
Yeah.
So like the Sabbat are in Jihad with the Camarilla because the Sabbat, they don't like the idea of the Masquerade. They don't like the idea of maintaining their humanity. They want to rule the world. They want everyone to know that vampires exist, and they want to just be, hey, we're here, you're our cattle. That's the Sabbat.
Yeah.
Humanity and the Beast. So you'll see on your sheet somewhere there is a stat called Humanity. Humanity/path. One of the most important facets of this game is that as a vampire, you have within you a monster that wants to live by your base desires. And your humanity is a measure against staving off that monster. So when your humanity is low enough, you might end up going into what's called a frenzy, and you're going to do whatever you can to get yourself out or into whatever situation you found yourself in. Say, for instance, when you go to feed and you don't have that much blood points, you have to roll a frenzy check as you feed on your victim. If you fail it, chances are you're going to drain them completely of all their blood and kill them. Pass it, you can consciously release the feeding process, the kiss, what they call it. Humanity does more than just that. Vampires with more humanity have the ability to just freely. So, like, if you have 8 humanity, you can freely just make yourself seem alive. So, as a vampire, you have no pulse, you have no warmth, you don't breathe. It doesn't look like you're breathing, but with the power of humanity and the use of blood points, you could simulate all of that. If you're a vampire with at least 8 humanity, you could do it for free as often as you want. It also helps you in cases where if you're a vampire and you're awake during the day, your abilities are greatly weakened. If you have enough humanity, you can ignore those.
Yeah.
Let's see. So then we have our 3 major factions. I spoke about them a little bit.
Oh God, health is really interesting.
Health is really interesting. So you have the Camarilla. They established themselves to protect vampire society from destruction during the Age of the Inquisition. They ruthlessly enforced the Masquerade to attempt to allow kindred and humans to exist side by side. They consider themselves to be the society of vampires. They consider themselves just to be the law, the vampire government. They are the vampire everything. They don't recognize that Sabbat are society. They view them as, disruptive influences that need to be removed. They operate on traditions. I could talk about those traditions, kinda, but I don't think it's too important. They operate in favors in forms of debts and boons.
Okay.
So instead of paying someone with money, it's like, oh, you did this job for me. Well, I owe you a debt.
It's like mobster stuff.
Sorta. But then those debts could also be traded to other people.
Okay.
So you go and do another thing for some other guys. Like, hey, you know what? We are owed a debt from Big Vampire Guy 3. Why don't you go to him for payment? Or why don't you put this off on him? Or maybe he can do this for you, stuff like that. So when a vampire offers somebody a debt, it's a big thing. It's not to be traded lightly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see, we have the Sabbat. They are the polar opposites of Camarilla. They are believed to be nothing but barbarians and demon worshippers, hell-bent on bringing the devil himself to earth. In reality, they reject the order and traditions of the Camarilla, and they do not believe in peaceful coexistence with humanity. They reject the Masquerade. They instead operate on their own path of silence of the blood. So next to humanity, you'll see something that says path. It's an alternative to humanity. So a Camarilla vampire who operates on humanity might be like, oh, if I kill this person, that'll make me more like the beast. That's bad. If I kill this person, I'll lose humanity. While a Sabbat vampire might instead say, if I don't kill this person, I'm a bitch. I need to kill this person.
Don't want to become a bitch.
Yeah, so when a Camarilla accidentally breaks the Masquerade and they have to fix it, let's say they got caught on camera doing vampire things. The Camarilla way of fixing that, or maybe the Anarch way as well, would be to go in, get the surveillance equipment, like the recording of them doing the thing, and get out. Oh, the security guards see them too? Gotta kill him. Gotta convince him that he didn't see what he saw. All right? Hopefully I could convince him. Otherwise, food.
So the Sabbat are the most metal.
The Sabbat go to that place. They kill anyone who might have been there, see them or not, and then burn the place down. That's the Sabbat.
Metal.
The Anarchs. So they're a sub-faction of the Camarilla. They generally abide by its laws and traditions, but they view the compliance as oppression. While they're not happy with Camarilla rule, they see the structures that they have set up as useful. Like, hey, the things that they do, we don't really like it, but it keeps us safe. So they kind of live under the Camarilla begrudgingly.
Yeah.
And like I said before, they kind of want to redistribute the power systems that the Camarilla have set up.
Sorry to be a douchebag, but can you name these? What their factions? What would you call that?
Sects.
Sects?
Yeah. Camarilla.
1 second.
Is that what they're referred to as in the book?
Yes.
Is the sects?
Sect. And then there's also other sects, but these ones are the important ones.
Sure.
The Sabbat and the Anarchs.
I'm putting down Camarilla, Lawful, Sabbat, Barbarian, and Anarchs. Guess Oppressed?
Punk. Punks. It's literally what they're described as, like being more punkish. Vampire punk. Rebels. Not-nosed kids.
Well, they still believe in the laws.
They do, but they
just don't, or they still find the laws to be useful.
just don't like the power structures involved in them.
Yeah. They like the religion, not the church.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have independent factions. Won't talk too much about them, but there is one that I think that is very interesting. And one of my friends loves the whole idea behind them. You have the Assamites, who are also known as the followers of Hakim. They are a clan of vampires that were sired somewhere in the Middle East. So they're a descendant of Muslim Arabs. And their entire shtick is that they hate the fact that they're vampires and they hate that vampires exist. So they go kill vampires. They're vampire assassins.
All right.
They're very interesting.
I don't not love it.
One of the things, so they're so feared by vampire society that the Camarilla contracted one of the other clans to put a curse on their entire clan so that they feel searing intense pain whenever they feed on another vampire. Which is a big thing. You're not supposed to feed on other vampires. Worse, you're not supposed to completely drain another vampire of their blood because you become stronger by doing that. Your generation goes up.
Oh,
if you're a 12th generation vampire and you suck off an 11th generation vampire to death, diablerize them, which is what it's called.
Death by snooze. Let's go.
If you diablerize another vampire, you become an 11th generation vampire.
Empower at least.
Yes. Yeah. No. You become an 11th generation vampire.
Oh, you just genuinely do.
Yes.
Okay.
And it leaves a black mark on your aura. So like if somebody has the power to see your aura, they'll see little black lines coming out of it. So they know that you're a diablerist, that you're like a vampire cannibal. You're one of the worst kinds of criminals in the Camarilla. And another thing that's interesting about them is that while other vampires grow paler as they get older, the Assamites become darker. Like to the point where they're pitch black. And it's like, and they hate that fact though, which is
sure. Yeah.
It'd make them better killers, but they hate that fact. All right, clans. So there are a lot of clans in this game.
I was going to ask that about in terms of how it works with the sex stuff. But.
Yeah. So there are clans that belong to the Camarilla. There are clans that belong to the Sabbat. There are clans that belong to various other sects, and then there are clans that kind of, depending on their individual bloodline, like a subrace essentially.
They commingle.
They could commingle. So you see, we have a brief summary of them. The Assamites, they're assassins who master stealth and hate vampire kind. You have the Bruja. They are angry, rebellious brutes who rage against tyranny. The followers of Set, they are. It was kind of hard for me to summarize these guys, but they follow their own path and they guard its secrets. They're cultish in a way.
Which one was that one?
The followers of Set.
Set.
I think they worship the Egyptian death god or the Greek Hydra Mykonos.
Set sounds Egyptian.
Yeah, Seth.
Yeah.
The Gangrel, they're kind of like a more druidy vampire. Mm-hmm. They live in the wilds. They have the ability to transform themselves into animals, kind of, or grow animalistic features. When they frenzy, they tend to gain a permanent feature that is animalistic or a behavior. Giovanni, they are necromancers. They are secretive. They are incestuous. And they have a very strong hand in the world's economy. The Sombra, they're shadowmancers who run the Sabbat.
Just to solidify this, you said they're necromancers, but more importantly, incest, right?
Yes.
Nix? How do you feel about playing brothers in this game?
Brothers.
Well.
The Sombra, they're shadowmancers. They tend to be leaders of the Sabbat. Malkavians are deranged lunatics who possess uncanny insight. An interesting about them is that they are crazy to an extent, and their uncanny insight comes from the fact that they have like a global psychic network that connects to other Malkavians. So like when one Malkavian learns something, there's a chance that another Malkavian will just think of that out of the blue at the proper time.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Malkavian. They're also the sect that you play if you want to be a complete disruption to a table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And want to play a Looney Tune character who shouldn't exist.
And also just gets all the answers for free.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're called a fish milk. I have no idea why. They're just called a fish milk.
All right.
Nosferatu, which if you think of the Nosferatu vampire from the old black and white movie, that's exactly that. They are ugly as sin, and they are stealthy, secretive. They are the only race of vampire, I believe, that cannot have anything in the appearance score. So if you became a Nosferatu, you got to cross out that circle.
That's fucking hilarious. I mean, isn't the like Nosferatu story is that like he is the original vampire? Isn't like,
I believe so.
Yeah, but it's funny that they
the
take
grandsire.
They take him being extraordinarily ugly part of it and run with it.
In the Bloodlines game, you meet them in the sewers of Hollywood, and they're all like old 50s actors.
That's hilarious.
They're great. The Ravnos, they are deceivers with the power of illusion and guile. I believe this is the clan that has like their weaknesses that they submit to vice very easily. The Toreador, they are the beautiful high-class degenerates. Degenerate is what's used to describe them in the book.
Sure.
They are the clan of excess. If you're familiar with 40K's Slanesh.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Tremere, they are the blood magic used in vampires, and they are very distrusted and feared. The Tzimitzi, they are eldritch fiends with the power of flesh and bone crafting. The Ventru, they're aristocratic businessmen who operate the Camarilla traditions. They are generally the leaders of the Camarilla.
I thought the
Sombra are the leaders of the Sabbat.
Oh, well, sorry. What's this one called again?
Ventru.
Okay.
And then the Caitiff, which are clanless vampires. They have no common characteristics at all, and they're generally seen as weird, off-putting, or bad because they're different.
Okay.
All right, so that's the general rundown of the clans. We're going to be playing Camarilla clans just to keep things simple. So if you want to mark those down,
No, I'm just kidding.
well, fuck you. You're all going to be Nosferatu now. I'm sure you'll love that though.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Oh no.
So if you want to mark them down, the ones available to us will be Bruja, Gangrel, Malkavian, Toreador, Tremere, and Ventru.
What was the third one you listed?
Malkavian.
Malkavian. Okay.
All right. Let's talk about attributes. So if you look at your sheet, you have 9 attributes, 3 of them, and 3 groupings of them. So you'll all have 1 already. As you can see, that's already marked down in your sheet there. And we have physical, social, and mental. So these are all 100% what they are. Like, I'm sure because we played so much TTRPGs, we know what dexterity, strength, and stamina might be.
Yeah.
Although I guess stamina, not so much.
They're
They all
pretty
have their
obvious, but why
uses.
don't you just rattle them all off?
Yeah. Strength, you want to do something strong, you want to punch through a wall, strength. Dexterity, you want to do something fast or
Dexterous?
agile, dexterous, skillful, you use dexterity. Stamina, from what I can remember off the top of my head, you'll use to prevent damage. So if you take damage, you can do what's called a soak roll, and that'll be based on your stamina. And that will allow you, for every success in a soak roll, you could take off 1 damage dice from your enemy's roll. Charisma. It's charisma. We know what that is.
Yep.
Roll d20 to sleep with the dragon. Manipulation. That's more of a deception
I was gonna
kind of
say,
check.
like, yeah.
Mhm.
Would not persuasion also be manipulation?
There is no persuasion.
There's no persuasion. This,
Yeah, but I mean, falling under manipulation. You said deception.
Manipulation.
Is there deception under here?
no.
No.
Yeah, I'm saying along the lines of deception.
Yeah, along
would,
the lines of
Would
deception.
persuasion also be...
Persuasion would be
Yeah,
more
yeah.
charisma.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said it. You said it almost as if like it belongs under.
No, they seem separate here.
Yeah,
The abilities seem separate from the attributes.
yeah, the abilities and the attributes are two different things.
Yeah, they're not driving like other TTRPGs.
They usually add on.
Mm-hmm.
Appearance, it is just your physical looks. 1, you're not very good looking, but you're all right. 2, yeah, you're all right. 3, average. 4, you're an 8 out of 10. 5, why bother?
Mm-hmm.
Why bother? I'm not talking to you. And in reality, I am going to talk to you. Perception, your ability to figure things out just by looking at it, or intelligence, knowledge stuff. If you need to make a check, that's usually going to come with your knowledges. That's going to be an intelligence check. And wits, your ability to figure things out in a more quick manner, I suppose. And then you have all the abilities. So you have abilities, skills, and knowledge. Talent, skills, and knowledges. So talents are things that you kind of just have a knack for. Skills are things that you are more trained in, and knowledges are book learning. They fit best under, physical, social, and mental, where they sit. Advantages. So advantages are just what set your characters apart the most. So you'll see there you have disciplines. That's essentially your skill pool, your feats, your magic, in a sense. Your backgrounds. So there are a decent amount of backgrounds in this game that actually do have somewhat of an effect. It's not like 5th edition or they had backgrounds in Daggerheart, right?
Oh, the backgrounds usually had some sort of ability that was granted to you,
Yeah,
I
like
think, in
was that
Daggerheart.
our oath thing? Was that a background?
That,
think
yeah,
so.
I think it's your heritage. I believe
Heritage?
was what it was.
I don't remember, but a lot of games treat backgrounds as almost nothing. Some giving you a little bit of something.
Yeah, this actually gives you something for your
Yeah.
background. So like wealth can be part of your background. Having an ally somewhere could be part of your background.
So sorry, just as an explanation, with these blank spaces for the disciplines of backgrounds, there is a page in the book that
Yes.
describes what they are.
Yes.
As follow up to that, in abilities, the bottom of the sheet has blank spaces. Are there abilities that we make up, or different talents that exist in the book that we can add there?
Kinda.
Oh, okay, I was just curious because it's left
Yeah,
blank.
talent, skill, and knowledge. All of them have one blank.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was like we get to add something there.
Well, you'll write it in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
Right.
like, there's another thing that gets added in there
Mhm.
potentially.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool.
And then your virtues. These are important in they're important as your attributes in health, really. So, conscience, we won't be using conviction or instinct. Conscience is like, I'm about to do something bad. Is this going to knock a humanity off of me?
Okay.
So you would use your conscious to add to whatever roll you have to make sure you still maintain that humanity.
Sure.
Self-control is usually used when you're trying to feed on somebody and you're trying to stave off the desire to drain them dry.
Mm-hmm.
And courage. So if there's ever a point where you have to do something that is very antithetical to your life, say the sun's coming up, you're running through a building and there's a window that's open and the sun's just beaming through, do you have the courage to go through that sunlight? Because there is a function of the game where the DM says you reel back from that sunlight. You don't want to touch it.
Sure.
Do you want to try to go through? Make a courage roll.
Sure.
And then we have below that humanity and path. I've explained humanity already. There is a sort of hierarchy of sins, which you don't have to follow too much. But the higher up humanity you are, the easier it is to lose humanity because of what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I think 10 is having an impure thought.
Okay.
Going from a 10 to a 9, very, very easy.
Yeah.
Going from a 2 to a 1, more difficult.
Yeah, 2 to 1 is like, oh, did you just kill an entire family? Oh no, make a humanity check. That's me at 2. Willpower is a stat that will fluctuate a lot. You'll see that there is the circles and the squares. The circles is your permanent willpower. It's your permanent willpower rating. So you put that in there, it's going to stay the same for the entire game until you get enough experience to put another dot in there. The squares is the fluctuation. So there will be points in the game where you can, if you needed to or wanted to, just say, I'm going to spend a willpower point. I don't want to make this willpower check. Just let me pass. So beam of sunlight. You got to reach through the beam of sunlight to grab the thing. Oh, storyteller says, hey, you're a vampire. You don't want to touch that sunlight. Make a willpower check. You say, no, I need to grab the key. I'm spending willpower. I'm running off with the key now. That's one of the major uses for willpower.
Forcing courage.
Forcing courage. There's also cases where I'm sure you guys will hate this, but in combat, you describe what you're going to do at the start of the turn, and then the turn goes and you do the thing. But if for some reason you want to change your action in the middle of the combat round, say you want to shoot a guy, and never mind, I got to go shut that door. You can use a willpower to just say, yeah, I'm gonna go do that thing instead.
I actually like that.
Okay.
I like, especially, that was like a mechanic in G&G that I struggled with, which is drawing a pistol is faster than drawing a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to work some mechanics in of why people wouldn't just like break the game and be like, all right, I'm going to draw my pistol. All right, I rolled heavier on my draw. Okay, so you go first. What are you doing? I'm stowing my pistol and taking out my rifle. It's like, well, how is that faster? So I like the idea of having a currency that you have to spend to do something you didn't intend to do. Because like if your intention is like you've been holding Fireball the whole time and then your friends move in and you have to like now that preparation and that 6 seconds you have to cast that spell, switching that into doing a new action is a lot harder than just committing to the action. So the idea that there's a currency to change your commitment,
I guess it does separate a lot from how the 2E went. Because in 2E, you do the same thing, but in that case, it's like, oh, well, I'm just not going to attack then, I think. Or I'm going to attack something else instead of shutting the door.
Yeah.
And then health. So health is quite interesting. You have 3 damage types. You have, and I just lost it in my mind. You have bash, lethal, and aggravated. To a vampire, bash and lethal are pretty much the same thing. Aggravated is the bad kind of damage. So when you take bashing damage, think of it as blunt damage in a way, or even bullets. Bullets are bashing to a vampire, as far as I remember. When you take bashing damage, you just put a little slash in one of your boxes. When you take lethal damage, you put another slash in the opposite direction, so now you have an X. When you take aggravated damage, you put a third slash, so it's kind of like a little asterisk in there. And you follow that because it's very important as to whether or not you're going to die if you have damage in your 7th box or not. Now, whenever you take damage, you move the oldest damage down the list and you put the new one at the top. So if you have 2 things of bashing and you take lethal damage, you put a slash into the 3rd box and then you turn the 1st box into an X to track the kind of damage that you've taken throughout the time. So one thing that can happen, say you're a vampire, you get into a fight with a guy, and this guy just wants to kill you. He has no other goal but to kill you. You pissed him off somehow. And somehow you lose. You lose to a mortal. He just punches you to the ground. You're unconscious. And he just continues to punch you. And he's not going to stop. Technically, because all he's doing is bashing damage to you. You just fill your box with slashes. Now you hit 7. You're unconscious. He's still hitting you. So now you're filling your boxes with X's until you hit the bottom. He's still hitting you. So now you're filling your boxes with the asterisk until you hit the bottom. When you have an asterisk on your final square there, you're dead. You've suffered the final death.
Right.
You turn to ash.
You did say one thing that confused me, which is if I have Bash 2, which on the list is, there's like levels of it. So I got Bash in bruised and hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I take was it fatal damage?
Lethal?
That was the second one? Lethal. Then I take a lethal damage. I get that I put an X under bruised,
Mm-hmm.
but then you said I also put a slash bash into injured?
Yes. So you move the oldest damage down the line.
Gotcha. Okay, I get it. Okay. Complicated, but I imagine not so much as soon as you start doing it.
Not so much. On the next page.
Weakness and experience, I imagine you just put some random bullshit in there?
Yeah, so experience, experience is a currency in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get experience until you level up.
Okay.
There's no levels in this game.
Okay.
You just get experience. When you get experience, you can buy points. You can buy dots in whatever you want.
Okay.
For a certain amount. Weaknesses, that is based on your clan. So a Bruja has a harder time resisting frenzying. So if you have to do a frenzy roll and you're a Bruja, you have like a bonus of 2 to your difficulty. As opposed to having a normal 6, you'll have an 8. If you're a Toreador, the degenerates, their weakness is that they cannot help but stare at awe at something that they find beautiful, breathtaking, amazing, something like that. So if a Toreador, for whatever reason, thinks that the sunset is just the most amazing, the sunrise is the most amazing thing they've ever seen, they're going to stand there and stare at that sun until they die. Or, they make a willpower check to get out of that shit. What's another interesting one? The Assamites, their weakness is that if they feed on another vampire, they suffer intense searing pain. It hurts them to draw blood from another vampire. So every clan has their weakness.
Is it like a bash or just narrative?
Aggravated.
Whoa. God damn.
I'm pretty sure it's aggravated. So that is a fun thing.
Yeah, and I imagine that's a willpower to not do it still.
Yes. They're
I want to feed on the vampire. I willpower to not feed on the vampire. If I do feed on the vampire, asterisk.
I want to feed on the vampire. I'm missing a lot of blood. I'm going to continue to feed on the vampire, asterisk. On the next page, you'll find merits and flaws. So when you're making your character, you can give them extra feats in a sense. You have what's called freebie points to spend when you're done spending all your points originally. And you could either add to them with merits, or you could spend them on merits, or you could get points for taking on a flaw. And that could vary wildly as to what those even are.
Sure.
I don't remember them all. There's too many. Other traits, just if you end up learning something throughout the game. Rituals are mostly for Sabbat. Paths are mostly for non-humanity, following vampires. Experience is just to track your experience. There are derangements, like mental illnesses from Delta Green. If you're a Malkavian, you get one of those permanently.
Oh, yeah.
Just for being a Malkavian.
I mean, fuck Malkavians, right? Like I feel like me and you are on the same page. I don't know about Nyx, but fuck Malkavians. Little psychic warriors getting free answers all the time.
Well, you don't want to be a psyker?
No, I want to flounder in one of Gray's campaigns.
I want my connection to the God Emperor. That's what I want.
Combat, just put your weapons there. The difficulty tells you that should be accuracy, I think, but the difficulty is a bonus to the difficulty of the roll. So by default, most rolls are difficulty 6. So you just gotta meet or beat a 6 to have a success on any of your rolls.
And beating is higher.
Meet or beat.
No, I'm saying like meet or beat when you beat something.
A 6 or higher is a success on a D10. How many successes you have is,
Sure,
how many rolls
I just
you
don't know
roll.
if the system favors higher numbers or lower numbers, but it's higher numbers.
Yes, you want to roll high.
Okay.
Damage that tells you how many dice of damage you'll have on a successful attack. Every extra success you have, you only need one success to succeed on a damage roll, but every other success adds another damage dice.
Oh, so you could immediately fill all 7 bash on an enemy
Yes.
on one hit.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. Range is range. Rate. I don't know what rate is. I think that is how many times that weapon can attack in a round, which is kind of weird to have that there because there are so many different maneuvers that you can do in this game. So like if you have a fully automatic weapon, you can just spray. You can say, I want to fully auto shoot everybody here. So you add 10 dice to your attack pool and roll all of those. And then you can pick out successes. You got to have at least one on each of your targets, and then you can start stacking more for damage. It is a beautiful system.
I have a question.
Yo.
Difficulty and damage. So let's say easy numbers 10 and 10. Whatever, I have a gun. I roll the difficulty first to see if I hit.
Yeah, so you roll the attack roll first. That will be... So, say you have a gun, and you have 5 to dexterity and 2 to firearms. You have 7 to your attack pool. So you roll that.
What do I roll? A D10?
You roll D10s.
One D10?
You roll all the D10s that you have if you want to make one attack.
Oh, I
for the
roll
round.
like 7 D10s.
Yes.
Oh, and then is it like DC is like at least 3 successes?
No. DC is always... One success is all that matters.
So what happens if I have that plus 7 and I roll 7 successes?
Then you get 7 attacks. You got one of your default damage dice. So say your gun has a damage pool of 5.
Yep.
So you have, for the first success, you got those 5 dice. For the additional 6 successes, you have another 6 dice against a single target.
Okay. So every success past 1 is one more damage die.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then only 7 of those have to hit your target to put them down. So I believe that's correct. Yes. So, no. Is that correct?
Well, that would be bash if it's a vampire.
Yeah, but still, put them down. They'll be unconscious regardless.
Oh, is 7 bash unconscious?
Yes.
Okay.
So as long as that unconscious box has something in there, you're unconscious.
Gotcha.
Then we have expanded backgrounds. That is just flavor, I guess, or depending on how we build our characters.
Yeah.
The last pages are not too important.
So the equipment, the gear, all that stuff is just we pick them as they. Okay.
Pick them as it's important. We'll see what happens there. So, we've told you the basics of the game, or the basic stuff. We can make our characters now if we want.
I do have one big question.
Yes.
Genuinely. What type of story normally gets played in this kind of... Like, I understand the concept that we are vampires. I understand that we are part of the masquerade, especially being Camarilla vampires. I understand that conceptually. What kind of story what kind of story is common or typical? Like, is it that we're just like oh, you're just hungry, go find food and like feed on people in the city? Or is it like specific missions? What do missions look like? What is the story in this game?
I don't know how other people run their games. Fuck those guys. I'm making my own shit up.
Sure,
Yeah,
but you get what I mean.
In my mind, because Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, the video game, was the whole reason why I even wanted to play this game. It's more of it's a combination of either you're a lackey of some sort and you're investigating things and you're trying to just do whatever your higher ups want you to do, which can range from, hey, this guy over there stole something from my museum. Go get it back. You can just go, that could be a thing you do.
Yeah.
And then, 5 sessions down the line, turns out that that thing that he stole is some Methuselah's ancient artifact that has some freaky blood magic involved with it. Right? It's sort of a combination of like Delta Green and a more higher fantasy kind of game.
My take was like, at least my understanding of like vampire stories like this would be like Blade.
Or low fantasy.
Or low fantasy. Blade. There are clubs in Blade, like clubs that vampires go to. Those clubs have owners. Those owners have security guards or guys that go get the owners their lunch. You're one of those guys. You're a security guard for a club of vampires, or you're a guy who gets lunch for an aristocrat.
No, I understand that concept of being a lackey within the masquerade.
The hunger stuff is just part of you.
Yeah. Are you, when we talk about like the type of story, so like you said, like as the example, there's a museum and an artifact that gets stolen, and we got to go find the guy that stole it. In your mind, is that like a rival, because there's so much clan and sex stuff in here. In your mind, is that like a rival clan has done that? Or more typically for a smaller story, is it like, there's a museum and all of the security guards and the investigation that needs to happen there, and then you find the direction of the guy who stole it, who works for a club and blah, blah, blah. But these are all mortals that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, is it more predominantly you having to navigate being a vampire amongst mortals, or is it more predominantly clan versus clan?
As far as I know, it could be a mix of both.
Okay.
They're both very integral to what I feel is the stories of like vampire bloodlines.
Okay.
It could be we're on the periphery of John Wick. It's all human beings that do stuff to each other, or Hellboy. It's all secret society stuff.
There's a lot of
it's like a mixture of the two.
There's a lot of both, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was just curious if like the whole museum one, if let's say that was the story that we were going to tell, is it just us being two vampires, Delta Green style, but we're vampires navigating humanity, trying not to show up on cameras and shit like that, trying not to reveal what we are, but simultaneously needing to use our vampiric wiles in order to get through challenges without getting caught, blah, blah, blah.
It's like reverse Delta Green. You are the unnatural thing.
Yeah.
Trying to remain hidden.
Yeah.
From other things in the world while doing stuff.
Except sometimes the artifact that was stolen turns out to have been stolen by a vampire from a rival clan.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. I just, to me, that felt like a big question of like, I get the mechanics of the system, and I get the political structure of the system, but I didn't feel like I really knew what playing it would look like story-wise, what kind of tale we're going to be
kind of like
in.
how Nick's thought it was going to be, Delta Green is going to be like a 40K game.
That's what I didn't want to happen.
Mm-hmm. And he thought this was going to be a ballroom dancing game.
Yeah.
No, there was a world
Which it
I
is,
thought
and
was
that's what you're going to write,
ballroom
right?
It actually can be a ballroom dancing game.
Yeah. I also like the idea that like the artifacts get stolen by some nuisance human that's part of, I don't know, they talked something about
You
some
guys
organization they're in.
Need to play Bloodlines. Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines 1. Just
I'm already pretty interested in the lore, just
do
everything that you've explained
Play
so
the
far.
game. Play the game.
How old is the game?
2002.
Is it like
It's on Steam.
Is it like a story like book thing, or is it like a?
No, it's like a third person or first person shooter, however you want to play it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
I don't know why I imagined like the first Fallout.
I don't know why I was imagining like Warhammer 40K.
One of them is like that.
What was that?
I said, I don't know why I was imagining like Warhammer 40K.
No, I just imagine it was like like pixel characters, and then you like interact with things.
There's
and you,
the first the first game actually. Forgot about Requiem. Is more like a top-down Diablo-ish. It is a lot like that Fallout, what you're thinking, but it's 3D models.
Sure.
And then there's Bloodlines, which is more of it could be third person or first person because you could change it whatever you want. And then I think there is Coteries of New York, which is more of like a visual novel type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Bloodlines 2, which I've never heard anything good about. That is a third person game. There is the Battle Royale shooter for Vampire, which I've heard decent things about. And then I think there's another one that's coming out being made by the people who made, or by some of the people who made, what is the name of that game? Disco Elysium. And it's going to play just like that.
Okay.
So I highly recommend playing
Bloodlines,
though. It is such a good RPG. Great story. Your tutorial character is played by Bender.
That's hilarious.
Yes. One of the best voice actors.
He is really good. His character is fantastic.
What's his name? Joe
Johnson,
DiMaggio?
Joe DiMaggio, yeah.
Yep.
Baking pancakes, baking pancakes.
But a vampire.
Yes. Okay. Is there any... I know you haven't written this story, but is there any of a version of a hook that might lead us in any path for character creation?
So
if not, it's fine. We could just do builds.
I haven't thought out the one-shot part of the story. But I do have an idea of what the campaign part of the stories would be like.
Yeah, but you'd be spoiling it.
I would be spoiling it. So my idea was that the two of you, be it you know each other in life or you didn't know each other in life, maybe you're brothers who like to, do some extra familial things.
No, you removed that option from us, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm not offering Giovanni.
God damn.
Sorry.
How am I going to bang my brother?
I figure the two of you are out one night, be it either walking to and from your, maybe you had an overtime shift, you both worked together, or you went out clubbing and you guys just get sucked. You guys get met with a vampire. They give you what they call the kiss, which is just the word for feeding, which is a highly pleasurable thing to both the victim and the assaulter. And then they embraced you and turned you into kindred. So that was going to be the opening for it. That's going to be the opening for it. You guys don't need to be the same clan. You guys can be the same clan. The diversity of clans I don't think is too important because a lot of the uniqueness comes from what you do with the characters afterwards.
I was thinking about that when you were talking about it, where like, in a way, I imagine two things are true. One, it probably makes the most sense for a succinct story to be of a shared clan.
Mm-hmm.
And two, player parties almost always probably want to play as different clans.
Mm-hmm. I was also thinking maybe you guys can be Caitiff, which is a clanless vampire.
Mm.
But then that opens up things a bit. And that'd kind of be like when I gave you guys the option to use combat and tactics.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine. I think shared clan makes sense. Because that is my opinion, I would be more than willing to concede to whatever clan you would want to play.
I mean, I don't know anything about any of the clans or anything. I'm looking them up right now. But
Yeah, you definitely should look them up because...
So we have Bruja, which is kind of rebellious. Gangrel, which is like the druidy wild-shaped ones. Malkavian, which is the global psychic network one. Torador, which is the like beautiful degenerates, the overly indulgent. Tremere, blood magic, and Ventru, the leaders of Camarilla, which is probably the one I would push.
They're
back
like the
against
political
the most.
high and mighty type.
Yeah, I'd probably push back on that one the most, especially for lackeys.
Well, they got to start somewhere.
True.
It's up to you, though. And so each of them has their... So if you look at the first page, you'll see the disciplines list. There are 6 disciplines that you can have total. Each clan starts with their specific 3.
Yeah.
And then you could buy into disciplines if you want to.
Okay.
And then you could also start with like no points in one discipline, or you could put all your points into a single discipline. and each point gives you a different ability.
Okay.
And you can't go past 6 or past 5.
Obviously giving you time to look these things up, but are you comfortable with that? Because I'm making the choice that I think we should be the same clan. You can make the choice of what the clan is.
I'll hit you for it, but sure.
And there's also a sort of guidelines like
It's a good start.
your character's background is probably a little bit more likely to influence what kind of clan they've been sired into.
Yeah.
So like a street thug is more likely to be a Bruja because they're down there doing street thug things, and a Bruja is probably out there doing street thug things, and it's like, hey, you know what? Embrace.
You're a good street thug, and I need that in my Bruja clan.
Exactly. If you're, I imagine, a more woodsy person who hangs out doing hiking kind of stuff, you might end up encountering a gangrel one night on your path as they're out there doing weird gangrel things. And
setting? Can we know setting?
setting will be,
Gotham City? That fits, right?
well, Bloodlines takes place in Los Angeles, and so I'm just gonna put it in Los Angeles,
Okay.
mid 2000s,
Okay.
and they're
I definitely like the idea of the Bruja of this list. The Bruja and the Toreador the most of this list. Although you do make a good point of the Camarilla being they have to start somewhere. So also Ventru is okay.
mm-hmm.
But I can imagine Bruja being very fun to play. And then I can imagine in a very, very, very different way, Toreador being very fun to play.
Think of Toreador as like your Edwards if they were
Yeah, like more like
freaks.
hoity-toity, like what people often depict vampires in stories of
Yeah,
like
the sexy vampire.
the sexy vampire.
Mhm.
Yeah. So street thug vampire or sexy vampire. Those are my two votes.
Let me just read up the Ventur or whatever the fuck that.
Ventru.
I mean, so far of the ones that seem the most interesting to me are just the Bruja ones or whatever.
Bruja Brothers?
Just because everything else has like there's other stuff attached
The
to it.
Bruja are often promoted as the best starting clan, and in Vampire Bloodlines are also the best starting clan.
Yeah, I mean it reads the simplest in terms of like what is your weakness, what is your strength. You're just a little bit of a wild guy. I was like, all right, yeah, that's all it is. Like it's fine.
I like it. I'm into it. We could be Bruja. Bruja Brothers. If we're going to be Bruja Brothers, can we pull a little bit on, like, maybe just a quick level up from the Giovanni? Sorry, I got to stop making that joke. Yeah, Bruja sounds cool to me. And it would make sense that we kind of understand the world a little bit. Like, it's obviously changed drastically, but, like, we already answered to people potentially. We were maybe street thugs, blah, 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 and then got embraced into a bigger cause.
I think the more important thing is on this website that Gray has sent us to is there's an important note is everyone lotions crepe skin. Insiders do this instead. So clever.
What?
It's just an ad.
Oh my God.
There's just an ad with like lines and somebody rubbing their face. I have no idea. But also the Ventru are, at least based off of this thing, they seem to like come from money or have money. I don't know how much that would actually.
Yeah, they're like the wealthy politics vampires.
Yeah.
The
So
businessmen,
like,
stuff like that.
It feels like it would add a layer of things that might make it like if we already have a big source of income as a party or as players. I don't know what that would do to the story. But Bruja, I think to me, I don't really care for the whole gangrel thing.
No, I don't either. I feel like the various magics within the clans interests me, but not to start with.
Yeah, I'm personally okay with the Malkavian thing, but it also just adds a layer of stuff that I don't necessarily want to deal with.
Well, it's important to note that when you play a Malkavian, you're not playing a caricature. You're just you have a little thing.
Yeah, you're
that's always with you.
You're a little weird. You're described as a lunatic is apparently the
they become
nickname.
more lunatic as they go on.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is.
And I wouldn't mind just generally us playing, and there's just, Greta gives us a little voice in the back of her head. That seems like fun. And also, if that voice sounds like a kobold, I wouldn't fight it.
Hey, feed on that woman in front of you.
An espresso has 3 layers of coffee. Because it's just like random knowledge, right? Isn't that like as soon as somebody requires something, it's like the hardness degree of cobalt or of cobalt is. What's happening? Why am I learning this right now? But yeah, I think just in terms of ease, in terms of like getting characters built, I think probably Bruja is probably fine.
All right.
Bruja. What generation?
You guys will be 13th generation.
Okay. I'm going to leave everything else here blank for now. Name, player. Who knows what player is going to play this character? Chronicle, nature, demeanor, concept, and sire. I'll leave blank for now, because that doesn't matter for build, I assume.
No, it's all like story stuff.
Okay. And then we go into attributes.
Yes. So there is a thing to attributes. So you see how you have your attributes and your abilities? They're all sectioned off by. Yeah. A certain thing.
Physical, social, mental.
Mm-hmm. That determines how many points you can spend in them at any one at character creation. So you have a primary attribute, a secondary attribute, and a tertiary attribute. Okay. So for your primary attribute, choose whichever you want, whichever grouping, be it physical, social, or mental. Your primary will have 7 dots that you can put in any combination. Your secondary will only have 5 dots. And your tertiary only has 3.
7, 5, 3?
Yes.
Okay. I'm telling you where I'm going with this immediately. Is in order. So for my character, physical 7, social 5, mental 3. One is pretty shit, right? To what? So like, okay, I have a question. In 5e, in general, you're pretty okay, or even it is a good thing to be a strength or dexterity build. Is it pretty important to have both in this?
They do very different things. So
okay,
we can talk about how roles work if you want before you do any of this, or we can just go into character creation and let God sort it out.
Wait, say again? How roles work?
Yes.
I mean, it's an interesting thing to talk about. So I'm fine with God sorting it out, but
think of strength as you're doing some physical act, right?
Mm-hmm.
Punching somebody, hitting somebody with a hammer, bashing through a wall, lifting something above your head, open doors, push-pull gates, that sort of thing. That's strength.
Yeah.
Dexterity, that would be more like I'm throwing a knife at someone's face. I am shooting a gun. I'm balancing a tightrope. There is a wide difference between the two. Dexterity also affects. Pretty sure dexterity also affects your initiative roll, and it affects maybe your move speed. But the two stats are not the same.
Yeah,
they are not interchangeable like they are in 5th edition.
And having points in dexterity, say I have 2 points in dexterity, that means I roll 2d10 hoping that at least one of them is a 6 or higher.
You roll 2d10 plus any additional skill that may apply.
Yeah.
So if you have 3 in firearms, 2 in dexterity, you got 5 dice pool.
But the DC is 1 success still.
the DC is the DC and the successes are two different things. So if you're trying to shoot a person and the default difficulty is 6, that is the DC. You only need to make one success to actually hit them. The same thing goes for if you're trying to pick a lock. Realistically, the DC might be 8, but you only need to make one of your D10s land on 8. And you succeed.
Okay. So I have put myself at 1, 2, 3, 4 strength.
Mhm.
I'm picturing more of like an enforcer type character. 4 strength, 4 stamina, 2 dex. Does that sound crazy to do?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. In our history of things, yeah, me being potentially shoveled into the person who has to figure things out.
It's my second best is social. My second best is social. Okay.
We're
here.
going to go wander the desert real quick.
What if, hold on. Because we know that Gray is our DM. Do we want, I can erase everything I've done here.
No, you're
Well,
fine.
hold on. Do we want one of us to put a 7 into social or mental, and the other person puts a 7 into the other one? So one of us perceives or understands things, and one of us talks.
My initial reaction is to do the opposite that you went.
The perfect reverse.
So we are both going to be equally socially adept at things because we'll both be 5 in social. I will be 7 in mental.
I like
and
it.
then
I
3
think that's fun.
physical.
I like it. It's probably a bad setup for me and you as players with Gray as the DM. It's probably a bad setup. But it sounds fun, though.
It's one we've done many times.
We're probably making a mistake here.
Well, it's time to hit the old dusty trail.
I'm going to go higher manipulation than charisma.
So anyways, I was done here. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to ask him questions. Anyways, how was your day? Mine was all right. I didn't. Oh my God, you see that bug?
Well, I don't know what to ask, so here's my vampire fangs. Whoa.
Bah! Don't be scared. Oh God, I can't see myself in the mirror. Oh yeah.
That's only La Sombra. That is their clan weakness. They have no reflection.
You said stamina is the one that offers the resistance to damage, correct?
Yes, so when somebody deals damage to you, you can use that to do a soak roll. Soak rolls are stamina plus fortitude if you have that as a discipline. You can soak bashing, you can soak lethal, but you cannot soak aggravated unless you have fortitude.
Can we soak the Mormon way too?
Yes, I believe with enough humanity, you can give yourself the function to do that. That is an actual thing. You can use blood points to allow yourself to have sex.
Well, no. I said the Mormon way. Soaking.
It's got to get up somehow.
Well,
Look,
my friend is the one who jumps on the bed. I am just laying there. Whatever else happens, it's just what happens.
somebody's using blood points, okay?
The reality is,
Unless you're a kindred out there banging kine, somebody's using blood points.
Sorry. What? So wits. What was wits again?
like quick on your feet thinking.
Okay. Because I'm not going to be very good at it. I'll make my character be good at that.
What are you putting in intelligence?
Currently I have it at 3.
Okay, good. Because I put nothing extra in it, so I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, currently I'm going to put my wits the highest. just so that I can make my character do the witty things and I don't have to.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna remove a stamina and be more strength. I'm gonna go hard on strength.
There are sort of, I want to say baseline things, but sort of descriptions as to what these things do. So like for strength, you have 1 dot. You can lift 40 pounds.
I have 5 dots.
You can lift 650 pounds and crush skulls like grapes. I also believe that means you're specialized because you're at least 4, so you can add like a little specialty into what your strength gives you. So like, here's some examples. Never lets go. Powerful arms. Reserves of strength. Vicious. So if you have at least a 4 in one of your attributes or your abilities, you have a specialty in that.
Sorry, go ahead.
What's important about specialties is that if you ever roll a 10 on the D10, that counts as 2 successes.
Nice.
So it's a little bit niche, but
where do I write the specialties?
I imagine there is a slot somewhere on one of the pages.
You can also just like mark an asterisk,
or you could just say, "Hey, my specialty is strength."
Yeah, if you have a 4 dot, you just give yourself a little marker to remind yourself that you have something. What's the description for wits being?
Let's see.
4.
You're one of the people who makes others think, "Ooh, I should have said the next day."
Okay.
Ooh, I should have said that.
Sure.
In my mind, I'm just out here cracking jaws. I'm not killing people. I'm just removing their jaw from the equation. It's so funny that we do keep doing this, where we keep putting my character into the one that's like,
you don't want to talk as you want to be the character.
It's because I'm inherently going to do it anyways, and it's a role that I like. I get typecasted into the talking character because I never shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So like I constantly want to push against that.
I mean, you're also a DM for 80% of your life where you're constantly talking all the time, in and out of characters. You're barely
I just want to break jaws.
Yeah. You don't get the chance to be the jaw breaking guy. What's manipulations 4-star?
Manipulation.
Damn, your manipulation 4-star?
Exceptional. You can be a politician or a cult leader.
I know it's meta, but are you okay with me changing my stats when I hear about his?
I don't care.
Okay. Right now, I have 4 stars in wits and manipulation. I don't know if I'm sticking to that, but that's where I'm leaning currently.
Specialties: persuasive, seductive, well-reasoned, misdirection, conjurer of facts.
I think I am just making Sav in real life. So incredibly witty that it's almost manipulative. Where at the end of the conversation you go, what he said made no sense at all. Why did I lose that argument? At least, old high school version of Sav.
I was way more competitive back then.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, people are arguing. I'm going to tune out and just find a conversation to talk nonsense in. I don't want to win with my nonsense anymore. I just want to run with it. I've lost my will to win and increased my will to
have fun.
To just speak nonsense with people that are willing to listen to my nonsense for no reason.
That will be the conviction virtue.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat, dog. As soon as I see anybody, it's like, oh, you care too much about this.
I see people that care about things that I care about, and then they get passionate, and I'm like, I'm going to find someone else.
Hey, who wants to talk about who pooped in the water?
This person's yelling about TTRPGs. I'm going to go find someone to talk to about sports ball.
How do the abilities work and those things?
Yes, we'll get to that. Let's see. As I scroll back to the page, do I have it on my cheat sheet?
Once again, like Delta Green, If you have a nothing in it, I imagine you can't roll for it.
Only for knowledges.
Oh.
Talents, you can roll for it with your basic ability, your basic attribute traits. And I don't know what the penalty is right now for the other one, the middle one.
Skills.
Skills. Let's see. For abilities, your primary has 13, your secondary has 9, and your tertiary has 5.
Sorry, say that again.
Primary is 13, your secondary is 9, and your tertiary is 5, and you cannot have an ability higher than 3 dots at this point.
Okay.
God, I think I'm doing the same thing.
I'm gonna put 3 in computer.
I'm just going again. Talent, skills, then knowledge. I think. I haven't read through all of them. I can't have greater than what?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, so knowledges you can't roll if you have no dots in them. Talents you can roll with your basic attributes score if you have no dots in in the talent. And for skill, it doesn't actually say. Sounds like you can still roll.
You know, I actually
No, the difficulty is increased by 1. So if you try to roll a skill for firearms and you don't have any in firearms, it'll probably be a +1 to whatever that difficulty is, like 7 instead of 6.
Define subterfuge.
Subterfuge is more like infiltration spy stuff, like planting stuff.
This doesn't carry down like this, right?
Huh?
This doesn't carry down like this. I can make any one of these my primary.
Yeah, you can make any one of your talent, skills, or knowledges your primary. They're not tied to attributes, whichever those are.
Okay, thank God, because I was looking at that and I go, I don't want to. If it carried down the column, I was like, I don't want to do that.
No, it doesn't do that. You could be an exceptionally physical and highly knowledgeable vampire if you wish to be.
Yeah.
I decided to go a different way. I'm just filling in dots that I want, and then I'm going to go back and count them and see which one's going to be the primary that I could dump shit into.
And if you guys want an explanation of what any of these things are at the time, just ask.
Mm-hmm. Now imagine the difference between brawl and melee is fists and weapons.
Yes. Brawl is hand-to-hand. Melee is weapons.
What's expression? Is that just your ability to control your...
That's
under talents. Is that to like control your own expression? Or because I believe empathy sounds like it's my ability to read another person.
Yeah, empathy is your ability to understand emotions. Expression is your ability to get your point across clearly, to actually express yourself.
Oh, okay.
Ability for poetry, creative writing, or other literary art forms. For many elders, expression is a subtle art of crafting a satirical epigram capable of socially crippling one's longtime rival. For younger kindred, it may be the key to convincing a thirsty, stake-wielding anarch to converge on the sheriff's private hunting ground with the right text message.
Text message. This is like super modern then.
Yeah. This is like the 2000s era.
Sure.
This is modern era. There is another setting where it's older. The old World of Darkness takes place in the modern era. Well, I think New World of Darkness takes place in the older era.
You're still on attributes or abilities, sorry? Next?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just wait then.
I mean, you can move forward.
For advantages, you said that our Brujah clan is where we get our first 3 disciplines, right?
Yes.
And at this level, we only get those.
You can, with freebie points, which you get at the end of character creation, buy more.
Okay. How about background?
5 dots.
So it's up to us.
Mm-hmm.
Which backgrounds we choose.
And backgrounds actually mean something for your character. So like there are various backgrounds that range from like allies to alternate identity to contacts, herd, which is like the group of people that exist in the domain that you can safely feed upon. Influence, resources, maybe you have a mentor, maybe you have status, fame.
What's the difference between contacts and allies?
Contacts are people who maybe aren't your friends, but you have some sort of connection. Like, hey, I know a guy who could point me to someone selling XYZ gun. And allies are like, yeah, you're my boy. But they're mortals.
If you don't know any of these off the top of your head, that's fine. Fame?
Well, I have them all here, so it's
Okay.
how well known you are in mortal society. So, were you well known as your days as a street thug?
Gotcha. So that could be used in the sense that, like, if I was well known as a street thug, there might be inherent fear already for me.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Or people know who you are, maybe. Maybe they know the things that you've done. Fame could also just be infamy.
Okay.
Where you at right now, Sav?
I'm looking over backgrounds because I was going to wait for disciplines because we're going to have 3 shared disciplines anyway.
I mean, I'm good to move forward.
So right now I'm just doing backgrounds.
Yeah, and go ahead and put a free dot in generation.
A free dot in generation?
Yeah.
Where's
that?
generation?
Oh, it's a background, so you probably just write it in.
Oh, write it in.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that actually determines what generation you are. That dot makes you 12th generation.
I thought we were 13.
Did I say you were 13?
Yeah.
You did.
Never mind then. Don't put any dots.
Oh.
You're 13th. You're almost in blood.
Erased.
Sorry, how many backgrounds do we get to pick?
5 dots.
It's more about the dots than it is how many backgrounds. So you could technically do 5 backgrounds with 1 dot each.
Oh, okay.
Small list of backgrounds, though. I've done contacts and armory so far. I'm deciding if I want to add fame or influence, but I don't think I do.
You could also just not use backgrounds. You don't have to use them all.
You could just do 1 and put 5 in it. Yeah.
Or you could just put 1 dot somewhere.
Oh,
What do
you mean?
Or you could just not use any of your background dots.
Yeah, you hold off into it.
No, you could just not use them at all.
Yeah, but that wouldn't benefit you.
Yeah, they would.
How?
It's up to you. No, I mean,
Oh, it wouldn't.
it wouldn't benefit you. It's up to you. You could also pool your backgrounds.
I saw that, pulling backgrounds.
What does that mean?
So, if, say, you choose a background, say you want your background to be allies, that will be your anchor background. You can put as many points into it as you want, and Nick's could put points in there too. And then you both have that shared amount of points together in that background.
If one of us were to roll.
No, it's not. It's less of a roll. It's more of the thing exists. Backgrounds aren't so much rolled as they just exist.
Okay. Well, I'm settled, so I'll let you know what I got going on next, and you could decide what you want to do. I got contacts 2, armory 2, mentor 1.
So far, I just have armory 1.
So then we have armory 3.
If we want
to pull it.
What does that mean?
So when you pull a background, you make the conscious decision to say, hey, this is our shared anchored background.
Right.
So I'm putting 3 points into armory. He's putting 1 point. We have 4 points in this pooled background. That means it counts as 4 for both of you.
Right.
Well, it doesn't necessarily make it so that you both have 4 all the time. You both have 4 when you need it.
Yeah.
So technically he can have his 1 point pool somewhere, but when you guys are sharing your background, it only counts as that one thing for both of you.
Yeah.
So say you both have herd, and with 1 point in herd, you have 3 people you could feed on freely. He has 3 people he could feed on freely. Now, if you pull them, you both have 3 people who could feed on freely. Now, if you pull them,
we have like a 6 total, but not 6 each.
yes.
Yeah.
And then it could also influence, maybe instead of just having more stuff with your points, maybe instead it's more reliable.
Yeah. That makes sense. But there's no active thing that we necessarily need to do. We decide in an action to pool or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It doesn't change character creation necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. Other than...
No.
We can't switch what we anchor. Correct?
Oh,
we
you
have to
predetermine
create-
anchor.
Yes.
Yeah, we determine what gets anchored. It's not like it could just
Gotcha.
like on the whim.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll wait for you to finish and we can see what overlaps and we can anchor one of them. I'm going for methodical brute as an archetype. I assume there's just going to be a pool for virtues.
Yes.
So far, I'm going 1 armory, 2 resources, 2 contacts.
Okay. I have armory and contacts, so we could anchor one of them.
Oh, hold up. So when you make the anchor pool, you treat it as separate from your current backgrounds. So you can pull 2, and you can pull 1. You both technically have a 3 in that, but it's a separate thing from what you have on your sheet. So
It reduces how many we could use for our sheet, but it is sent to the pool.
yes.
Okay.
So then technically, in that case, if you still want to have contacts on your sheet, you have to put another dot there. But then your total dots, so say that you want to have a pooled contact list of 3, you say you want a personal contact pool still, you can't have more than 3 in contacts anymore. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So I would put contacts down here twice.
Essentially.
One of them being our
Pooled one.
pooled one of them being separate.
Yes.
We can just keep it separate. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for now. Okay. Where are we at right now?
Next is
disciplines and
disciplines.
virtues.
So-
Mhm.
Look at your clan. I believe it's celerity, potence, and fortitude?
Let me see. We are the rabble. Yeah, celerity, potence, presence.
So you can put any combination of 3 dots in any of those, ranging from 0 to 3.
What does celerity mean?
So celerity, unless you're an elder, celerity means that you just get more dice to use in anything involving dexterity.
Okay.
It also allows you to... There's a thing called split actions or multi-actions. When you do a multi-action, you have to divide up your dice pool between the 2 actions that you're doing, with the lowest contributor to your pool being the cap for what you can do.
Okay.
So say you want to shoot somebody, and you have a dice pool of 15 for that action. Now you want to shoot 2 people instead, or maybe you want to shoot that guy and then go punch this other guy in the face. So you got 13 to shoot this guy, but you only got a 7 to punch that guy. You can split 7 dice between those 2 actions. Celerity allows you to ignore that penalty.
So you get to use your maximum.
You get to shoot that guy and punch that guy as long as they're both using dex.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
What about potence? Or just
Uh,
explain all 3. I don't know.
Potence is normally a bonus to feats of strength.
Okay.
That one, however, unlike celerity, has things per dot.
Okay.
And presence?
Presence is kind of like a buff to charisma stuff. You're trying to inspire awe in somebody. Oh yeah, and when you have celerity, every point in celerity is an extra dice you can add to a dexterity roll.
For disciplines, do I have to put 1 into each of these?
No, you can leave one as 0, or you can have 1 as 3, or you can have 1 in each.
Okay, and how does the celerity work with that multi-attack directly, based on how many dots I have?
What do you mean?
So celerity with the whole like multi-action thing.
Okay.
I get the concept of, I decide my 2 actions. The one with the lower dots is how many I get to divide amongst the 2 actions towards success. Is typically how multi-action works. With celerity, you said that kind of overrules that.
Yes.
So I imagine I have the 15 to shoot the guy and the 7 to punch the other guy.
Yes.
Just separately.
Yes.
Also, but you said dex based, correct?
I think it's dex based. I'm not entirely
if you're
sure.
going strength build, it might not help you.
Oh, it's only dexterity actions.
I have to look that up.
That's
That was
a
one
very good show.
You just want to make sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
You sound like you got excited about having multiple actions, but it is dex based.
I wanted to
Dex
look up
actions.
potence real quick.
Yeah.
Because potence has, for each dot, you have a thing.
Yeah, because potence would be the thing if your strength build would be where you would favor.
I was going to ask about potence afterwards. I don't know how much I need to keep doubling down on potence.
Never mind. Potence is just a stat, it looks like.
Oh.
So potence is... Each dot that the vampire has in potence adds 1 dice to strength-related rolls.
Okay.
Further, the player can spend 1 blood point and change his potence dice to an equal number of automatic successes for all strength-related rolls for the turn. In melee and brawling combat, successes from potence are applied to the damage roll results.
Okay.
So that's actually... I see why this is the beginner.
Because that's incredibly good.
Because this is the beginner race because celerity and potence are essentially passives.
Yes.
That you can
add dice.
That you can activate to make yourself do better things.
Yeah.
Well, every other discipline is like, oh, each dot is a special ability, kind of.
Yeah.
And we wanted to talk about celerity. Not celebrity.
I read it as celebrity the first time I saw it too.
Let's see. So normally a character without celerity must divide the dice if she wants to take multiple actions in a single turn. A character using celerity performs his extra actions, including full movement, without penalty, getting a full dice pool for each separate action. Extra actions gained through celerity may not in turn be split into multiple actions, however. Okay, so you can split your normal action, and then you can do a celerity action. The celerity action is your full thing.
Okay.
What do you mean the celerity action is the full thing?
You know, no penalty to your dice,
Okay.
essentially.
And it's not dex based.
It's not dex based.
You just get new actions.
You can just do the action.
What's the limit on how many actions I could take in a move or in a turn?
How many celerity points you have?
Technically, you have one. It's technically a single action, but you're splitting up your action into multiple things.
Mm-hmm.
So you do your one action, and then you have a celerity action, essentially.
Okay.
Think of it as an extra action.
Okay, it's an extra action. You have your action and celerity action. Anybody can do that, but the typical rules apply. With this situation, you could do the action and celerity action with no penalties.
Yes, but your celerity action can only do one thing. You can't split your celerity action.
Is that only on one point? Does it get better at multiple points, or is it?
Yeah, what does the multiple points get?
The multiple
me?
points is kind of like potence. So each point of celerity adds 1 dice to every dexterity-related action.
Okay.
Every dexterity-related dice roll.
Then you can use blood points to make it an automatic.
In addition, the
success.
player can spend 1 blood point to take an extra action up to the number of dots he has in celerity at the beginning of the relevant turn. This expenditure can go beyond her normal generation maximum. Any dots used for extra actions, however, are no longer available for dexterity-related rolls in the turn. The additional actions must be physical, so no spell casting, essentially. The extra actions occur at the end of the turn.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but from my build's perspective, if I have points in potency, there's 2 guys in front of me. They need jaws cracked.
Mm-hmm.
If I have points in potency, I could essentially double down or whatever, make it more potent for me to crack one motherfucker's jaw.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have points in celerity, I can attempt to crack both of their jaws.
Correct.
But without any boons, because potency would be the boons.
Correct.
Okay.
'Cause for that, in that situation, you're using brawl.
How many points in discipline?
3.
3.
At the bottom of the paper, it actually does say it. On the bottom of the sheet.
Yeah, at the bottom there.
Oh, nice.
Well, it says discipline's 3, background's 5.
I like when they add that to character sheets.
Right.
So I only need 1 point in celerity to give me that my celerity takes no negative. But that 1 point means I only get a +1 to dexterity moves.
Yes.
Okay. So I open up the celerity action with 1 point. So I only really need 1 point in celerity to be able to try and bust 2 people.
Mhm.
Cool. And then everything else in potence. Cool. And I don't care about presence, really. I like this character building. This is cool.
Do you care about presence at all, Nix?
I mean, I'm putting 2 points in it. I don't really know what it does, but I just assume that my character will need it. Because I am not a strength build. So
No.
potence is not going to be. Granted, getting another dice for doing strength-related things is pretty good.
Yeah.
Even if I don't have anything or don't want to do anything with strength-related.
Well, I mean, I've always boasted that, like, in 5e, if you take Barbarian, you really don't need any other boons in strength. You already have boons in strength, so you could do other interesting things with your character build.
It's also just, if you're going to do strength-related things,
All right.
having a base is always going to be better.
Presence
a
is
base,
the discipline of emotional manipulation. Vampires with this power can inspire passionate fervor or unreasoning terror in mortals and kindred alike. So, let's see. So you have 2 dots, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the first dot gives you the ability Awe. Those near the vampire will suddenly desire to be closer to her and become receptive to her point of view. Awe is extremely useful for mass communication. It matters little what is said. The hearts of those affected lean toward the vampire's opinions. The weak want to agree with her, even the strong-willed resist. They soon find themselves outnumbered. Awe can turn a chancy deliberation into a certain resolution in the vampire's favor, almost before her opponents know that the tide has turned. Despite the intensity of this attraction, those so smitten do not lose their sense of self-preservation. Danger breaks the spell of fascination, as does leaving the area. Those subject to Awe will remember how they felt in the vampire's presence, however. This will influence their reaction should they ever encounter him again. So it's kind of like charm.
Yeah.
Sure.
So Awe's charm.
Damn, I kind of like that for the fear aspect of my
System.
character as well.
The player spends a blood point and rolls charisma plus performance, difficulty 7. The number of successes rolled determines how many people are affected, as noted by the chart below. If there are more people present than the character can influence, Awe affects those with lower willpower ratings first. The power stays in effect for the remainder of the scene until the character chooses to drop it. So 1 success, 1 person, 2 successes, 2 people, 3 successes, 6 people, 4 successes, 20 people.
Sorry, this is Awe?
Awe.
Okay.
5 successes, everybody in the vampire's immediate vicinity. An entire auditorium or mob.
Damn, that's cool.
The affected can use willpower to overcome the effect, but must continue to spend willpower every scene for as long as they remain in the same area as the vampire.
You know,
What does 2 points do?
2 points gives you the ability Dread Gaze. While all kindred could frighten others by physically revealing their true vampiric natures, bearing claws and fangs, glaring with malevolence, hissing loudly with malice, this power focuses on the elements to insanely terrifying levels. Dread Gaze genders unbearable terror in its victim, stupefying them into madness, immobility, or reckless flight. Even the most stalwart individual will fall back from the vampire's horrific visage. So you roll a charisma plus intimidation. Difficulty is equal to the victim's wits and courage. Success indicates the victim is cowed, while failure means the target is startled but not terrified by the sight. 3 or more successes means that they run away in abject fear. Victims who have nowhere to go will claw at the walls, hoping to dig a way out rather than face the vampire. Moreover, each success subtracts from the target's action dice pool's next turn. No success for 5 successes. So,
yeah, stunning people.
yeah, one success means that, they want to get away from you. 3 successes means they really want to get away from you. And on the next turn, they have less dice interaction pool for each success you made.
The best part about this is it gives me incentive to show my badge.
So I had a question, and then I'd like to talk about that. My question is, for awe, do they know they're under the guise of a vampire, or
No.
are they just happy? Like
When they get away, they do.
When they get away, they understand that when they get away, they no longer really have, those leanings anymore, but they remember how they felt.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, oh, this guy convinced us to let him go after he murdered an entire family? Why did we do that? I don't know, but he was so great.
So this is great. You should triple down on this and put 3 dots because the whole idea, and you get to use that on top of stacking all of your other abilities and whatnot, but the idea that you need to figure anything out goes out the door because you could just go in and awe people and get the fucking answers. And then if we're worried about witnesses, I can just kill them.
Well, what does 3 do?
One thing to note is that Dread Gaze does not cost blood.
Okay.
Only Awe does. And you can do it you could do it over what's called an extended action. So you can do it multiple times.
I mean, the cost of Dread Gaze is the revelation of being a vampire.
Possibly.
I mean, that's what it says, right? Dread Gaze is, I'm showing them that I'm a vampire.
No. It just says
run in fear.
Well, a
and
kindred
stuff.
can inspire fear by saying, look at my teeth, I'm going to suck your blood.
Oh, I just can do that.
You can just use Dread Gaze, and they're going to fear you for some whatever reason.
Okay.
They
And
don't
then you could do it
necessarily know
over-
why they fear you. They just fear you.
I'm sorry. The way you first read it, I
Same.
misinterpreted it as...
All right,
when
so
you do
you
it-
make them shit their pants, and then I kill them, and then we got the answer for free.
And when you do it over multiple turns, if you have enough successes that they lose all their dice from their action pool, they're essentially stunned. They're cowering in fear for the rest of the scene.
Sure. What does 3 do?
3 is entrancement. This power bends others' emotions, making them the vampire's willing servants. Due to what these individuals see as true and endearing devotion, they heed the vampire's every desire. Since this is done willingly, instead of having their wills sapped, these servants retain their creativity and individuality. While these obedient minions are more personable and spirited than the mind slaves created by Dominate, they are also somewhat unpredictable. Further, since entrancement is of a temporary duration, dealing with a lapsed servant can be troublesome. A wise kindred either disposes of those she entrances after they serve their usefulness, or binds them more securely by a blood bond. Which we can go into blood bonds later. System. The player spends a blood point and rolls appearance plus empathy. Difficulty is equal to the target's willpower points, current willpower points, not the permanent one. So if they've had their willpower lowered for whatever reason, it'll be easier. The number of successes determines how long they are entranced. Subjects can spend willpower to temporarily resist. The storyteller may wish to make the roll instead, since the character is never certain about the strength of the hold on the victim. The vampire may try to keep the subject under their thrall, but can do so only after the initial entrance wears off. Attempting this power while entrancement is already in operation has no effect. So, if you botch your roll, they cannot be entranced for the rest of the story. It is a critical failure, permanent for the story.
Sure.
Story. That is the campaign.
Yeah.
Failure. They cannot be entranced for the rest of the night. 1 success is 1 hour. 2 successes is 1 day. 3 successes is 1 week. 4 success is 1 month. And 5 is 1 year.
Gesh, baby. No.
Pretty much.
No, I don't think I'll lean that hard into it. I like having the celerity thing. I like having a little bit of boost to the dex, and having the option to have like a secondary action.
Yes, take the combat ones.
I took one. I did. I'm doing two. I'm getting awe and dread gaze. You know, went a little hard in the presence.
All right. As now we are going to virtues.
Yes.
Do you want the RP one in the game? Because I went no presents, but I'll put all three in presents.
You
right
guys
now.
are Bruja. All right, you're doing what Bruja are made to do.
I'll put all three in presents right now.
I mean, it still would fit your character.
Yep. Virtues.
Yep. Let me scroll back to that after I just scrolled through 100 pages to get back to virtues.
How dare you? You scroll your little fingers to get to that page.
I was thinking of trying to get a book before this started.
Ah.
I just made my own documents.
I'll
for
determine. I'll determine whether I'm buying a book after this. All right. So you get 7 dots in virtues. You have 3 virtues, and these are quite important to maintaining the masquerade and your life. So conscious allows the character to evaluate their conduct with relation to what is right and wrong. So when you're succumbing to the beast, you can fight that off with a conscious roll. Let's see. That's pretty much what conscious is. Self-control is your discipline and mastery over the beast. Characters with high self-control rarely succumb to emotional urges and are able to restrain the dark sides of their characters. Self-control comes into play when the character faces their beast in the form of frenzy. So, self-control allows a character to resist the frenzy. And a character may never roll more dice to resist or control a frenzy than you have points in your blood pool. So the more hungry you are, the weaker the self-control roll is. So if you have 5 in self-control, but you got 3 blood points, you can only roll 3.
Yeah.
Courage. Courage is a quality that allows characters to stand in the face of fear or daunting adversity. It is bravery, mettle, stoicism combined. A character with high courage meets their foes head on, while a character of lesser courage may flee in terror. Kindred use courage when faced with circumstances that they endemically fear. So fire, sunlight, or true faith. So whether fire, sunlight, or someone who is super into God.
Yeah. How many points for virtues?
7 total.
Oh. Sorry, real quick. Does that 7 include the initial dots?
Yes.
Oh.
No.
No.
Those initial dots are free.
Okay.
You get 7 to place there. That'd be really stupid for them to just say, "Hey, you have 7 dots here, but you can't use those 3."
Yeah.
Anything I need to know about degrees of it?
I mean, unless you want what their descriptions of them are.
Not necessarily. I have my self-controls maxed.
Okay. I guess the only thing to consider is I think that willpower and humanity are a derived stat from your virtues. So let me look at that real quick.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Your willpower starts at... No. Your willpower is equal to your courage. And your humanity is equal to your conscious plus self-control.
Humanity is conscious and self-control.
Mm-hmm.
And what was willpower?
Courage.
Courage.
So make sure you put those into your...
Permanent.
The dots. And the squares are your fluctuating willpower.
We don't do anything with that right now, right?
I think your starting willpower is equal to your
Max.
permanent rating.
To my what?
I think your temporary willpower, the boxes, are
Yes.
equal to your.
Yeah, you start off with your full.
Blood pool is
You have a max blood pool of 10. And as a 13th generation kindred, you can only spend 1 blood point a turn.
And do we start with temporary blood at 10?
Yeah.
1 blood point per turn.
1 blood point per turn, that just means how much you could spend.
Oh, bearings for humanity and path?
That is a weird one. So, one thing that they've done with this game is that they put in a lot of guidelines on how you can play a character by creating like personalities and stuff. So like there's a personality that is like, oh, you're a coward, or you come from a finer life, so you like the finer things. Bearing is sort of like the direction that your humanity is kind of facing right now, I believe. I don't think it's important. I
Just
think
skip that one. You
I
don't
think
care?
that they put a lot of things in here that are for bad role players.
Okay. Weakness and experience.
Weakness for you guys is that you have a more difficult humanity roll.
Mm-hmm.
What is more difficult humanity roll?
I believe it's plus 2.
translate to?
Yeah, it's plus 2 harder to resist certain things.
So instead of whatever it is, I'm pretty sure humanity rolls vary depending on your virtues and your willpower and your current humanity.
yeah, the difficulties of rolls to resist or guide frenzy are 2 higher than normal.
There you go.
So DC.
And we
plus
may
2.
never spend willpower to avoid frenzy.
When a Bruja freaks out, they freak out.
We may spend willpower to end a frenzy that has already begun.
So you can't prevent it from happening.
Yeah, you can stop it.
And experience.
That comes as the game plays.
Gotcha.
Oh, freebie points. So you guys have, I think, 15? 15?
Mhm. Yeah, 7521.
Yes. So it's 2 spread out in the book, but I believe that is I don't actually know. Each thing that you have on that sheet there has a different cost for freebie points. I think attributes are the 7, abilities are the 5, advantages also vary. Well, let me actually find a thing. I think you could buy a discipline for the cost of 6 times 1 equal to 6 times 6 plus the current level of your discipline, I think.
Mm.
Merits cost us freebie points, and flaws gain us freebie points.
Yes, but I'm not going to use that. That's like I said, that's kind of like using combat and tactics as your
okay.
first
So we're
time.
not using merits and flaws?
No.
So we just have these 15 freebie points.
Yes.
But like to add a dot in an attribute would cost 7 points.
Yes. All right. So, attributes. No, attributes cost. I don't know what this parentheses is. Attributes cost 5 per dot. Abilities cost 2 per dot. Discipline costs 7 per dot. Backgrounds is 1. Virtue is 2. Humanity is 2, and willpower is 1.
Yeah, it's weird that parentheses are so
I have
scattered.
no idea what those are.
Okay. So attribute is 5. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Can we now, in abilities, go beyond 3?
Yes.
Abilities, how much was it again?
Abilities are
2.
2 per dot.
2. Willpower was 1. I think I'm going to add to the discipline or the background. Can I add 1 to my generation?
No.
So, shit. Potency, again, remind me, is something about strength.
Potency is strength. You get more dice to strength rolls. Every success you add to strength damage. You can also spend a blood point to.
And is it one per dot for potency? The dice that I add?
Yes.
Okay.
So think of it as more strength.
Yeah.
What does willpower do again?
It helps you. It helps you break away out of certain things or change your decisions in combat. So if you're trying to force your way through a beam of sunlight, you can either roll for it or you could spend a temporary willpower point.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in combat and you want to shoot a guy, but you change your mind and you want to instead shut a door, you can use willpower to go from shooting the guy and go shut the door instead.
Okay.
And I have 15 points, and it costs 1 to increase my willpower?
Yes.
So I could just max out my willpower?
Do I to?
Wow. And humanity? Wow.
I mean, what's the cost of humanity?
2.
2.
Yeah, those fluctuate throughout the game, so it's kind of they're important stats, albeit they might get low.
Yeah, they fluctuate. I almost want to keep them low for a mini campaign.
Okay, I'm just gonna settle.
And that's your increasing your permanent willpower. And make sure that you increase your temporary willpower when you increase your permanent willpower.
Yeah.
Your temporary willpower cannot be higher than your permanent willpower.
Oh, okay.
Here's it. Use of willpower points. Gain 1 automatic success, which can't be canceled. Choose before rolling. Only use 1 per turn. Resist frenzy, urge, instinctive reaction actions. Prevent derangement for a short period of time. And ignored wound penalties unless incapacitated.
Okay. All right. And 4 is just special on the attributes, not the abilities, correct?
Hmm?
You said like when you have 4 dots.
Your abilities also have a specialty. If you have at least 4. Mm-hmm.
I got 4 in melee right now. What is that? That just
Whatever you want.
okay.
You want to be, kung fu fighting?
Well, melee is a weapon, correct?
Melee. You want to be sword fighting? Sword master? I don't know.
I'm thinking little knife,
Okay.
Little knife guy.
Good with a knife. So in situations where you're using your knife, usually to attack somebody,
Yeah.
you get a extra success for every 10 you roll.
Or to dread presence somebody with a knife.
All right, I'm all settled.
Yeah.
All right. Where do we go from here? So, you guys are both Bruja. You guys got your stats set out. We got all of that fun character creation stuff. I'm sure Sav is already thinking out some elaborate story and personality.
Not so elaborate, not yet.
Okay. Let's see. So you guys chose specialties for each of your attributes and abilities that have 4 dots or more.
I have not picked a specialty. I have 3.
I just marked wherever I have the 4
Yes.
dots or more. I do have 4 dots under self-control. I don't know if that matters.
That does not. It's attributes and abilities.
Yeah, I have 3 attributes with 4 dots, and I have 1 ability with 4 dots.
Yeah, so think of a specialty with them, and just write them down somewhere. When it's kind of like Legends in the Mist.
Oh, this is a little bit more narrative on
Yes.
the ability than like an actual mechanical.
Yes.
Okay. I'll think about that.
Okay. Let's see. What else do we need to know? I can go over combat and rolls and dice pools and all that fun stuff.
As much as you want to that you feel we would need to know before actually like playing the game and learning while we play.
Yeah. Okay. So, one of the very unique things so far that I've seen about this game is the fact that we use D10s for everything. There is no D20, no D4, no D6, no D anything else. No D100s, no funky dice like D60 or D16s or 7s, whatever else DCC use for some god-awful reason.
Hey, D16 and D24 were okay.
D16 was okay. So, when you make a roll in Vampire, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be adding an attribute to an ability or using just a virtue, depending on what the roll is. So, let's say, have you guys thought of names for your characters yet?
No.
I do not.
All right, so let's say Sov, for whatever reason, has to use the Animal Ken skill. And so let's say Sov, for the sake of this, has 1 point to Animal Ken. And what's your intelligence, Sov?
1.
So you got 2 dice in your dice pool for Animal Ken. So you would roll 2d10s. And this is a d12, sir.
Whoops.
How dare you?
I got a 7 and a 7.
7 and a 7. For this case, the difficulty was 6. So you got 2 7s. You got 2 successes. You've passed the difficulty. You passed the check. You got 2 successes. And there is a sort of scaled system in how successes work. So 1 success is a minimal success. It is, you just passed. It's a D. We don't count Ds as passing really, but in this case, you passed. You're trying to soothe this angry dog that wants to tear your undead leg off your undead thigh. Now, it's not trying to kill you. It's just barking at you a bit. You get 2 successes, like you just did. Maybe it's backing up. It's still watching you wearily. It knows that there's something wrong with you and wants to get you, but it's not going to. You roll a 3. A 3 is your baseline. You get exactly what you want success. That dog that was barking at you and wanted to kill you has backed off. Doesn't see you as a threat. It may look at your way every once in a while. It's fine. 4 successes is maybe that dog just goes away entirely. You don't want to hear, it doesn't want you here, but you know what? It can leave. 5 successes is that dog likes you. That dog is your friend.
It's my pet now.
Yeah. It no longer looks at you as a piece of undead jerky. Now maybe you're going to give it some undead jerky later on, so it's going to hang around with you. That's how the successes work. So that works for every roll. Most rolls are going to be an attribute plus an ability. And there is generally the limit for attribute and ability rolls are going to be 10, but I mean, I don't think you guys have 5 and 5 in any skill, so.
No.
I think you got a 5 in strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're anything related to strength, you're going to have a baseline of 5 with. Now, if you're rolling without things in your abilities, so say talents, you can roll your talents even if you don't have anything in talents. It's not like Delta Green for that case. So if you're doing a feat of strength in a talent, you can just roll your strength. There's no penalty there.
Yeah, it's. I imagine that's why you got a free 1 and everything. So like, if you're gonna shoot a gun, but you have no firearms, you still get the 1 from Dex.
You still get the 1 from Dex. Now, if you're trying to roll a skill and you have nothing in skill, the difficulty is increased by +1. That's it. You still get to roll your attribute, but your difficulty don't give you anything. It actually just makes it harder. Now, if you're trying to roll a knowledge and you don't have anything in that knowledge, you cannot roll at all. Delta green. If you don't know anything about technology, you cannot roll on technology. Simple as.
Yeah.
Now, for combat. For combat. When you get into a fight, and after you determine your initiative, which I believe is rolled per turn, I will refresh myself on that later.
Yeah, no worries.
You get into initiative, you say, I'm going to go punch the guy in the face. Your turn comes up, you go to punch the guy in the face. You use your strength plus your brawl, and you roll whatever those two combined would be. So I don't know what your strength and brawl is, but
Strength and brawl is not my character.
Okay.
That would be, I would roll a 1.
you roll a 1.
Yeah, because I have no brawl and I have 1 strength.
Okay, what's your better attack ability then?
It would be dex melee.
Dex melee.
Yeah. Right?
I don't think dex and melee mix.
Oh, is this not like...
No.
I assumed it's like 5e, which is dex is... I could use dex for like finessing.
No, actually there are maneuvers. You can use dex and melee. Yeah, you can use dexterity melee for a weapon strike. Where's strength and brawl?
I mean, strength and brawl sounds to me like punchies.
They have a lot of maneuvers in this game. So like tackle, that's strength and brawl. Basic strikes is dexterity and brawl. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be strength and brawl.
Yeah, but like, so just so I don't misunderstand it, I do have a maneuver where I could use dex and melee to do something with a weapon.
Yes, strength and brawl should be. I have no idea why it's like that right here. Maybe it's just the sheet that I printed out. Whatever. Dex and melee. You want to stab some guy to death.
Yeah.
All right. So you will take your dexterity and you'll add it to your brawl, and then you roll it. The default difficulty is 6. So whatever the combination would be, whatever combination that is,
I have
if you can
8.
tell me. So you'd roll 8 d10s to stab a guy in melee combat with a knife. So you only need to make 1 success
to actually attack. If I rolled the 6, they would die. Correct?
No.
Oh.
So what happens is, so go ahead and roll if you have your dice.
Oh, sorry. When you say
attack.
6 is a difficulty, you mean the minimum success on the dice has to be 6.
Yes, you got to roll 6 or higher.
When you said 6 difficulty, I thought you meant 6 of my dice had to be whatever the success number was. I don't know why I understood it weird.
Well, because some games are like that. Like some games where it's like you have 4d4 to roll a dagger, but you need 2 successes to hit.
Yes.
Some games are like that.
I thought it was number of successes, not 6 was the success.
So this is for his dagger attack.
Mm-hmm.
And you're rolling how many dice?
8.
Okay.
If 6 is the... I have 5 dice that are greater than 6.
All right. So take one of those out and just put it aside right now.
One of any of the dice?
Yeah, just take out one of your success dice.
Okay.
Just to simplify or help move things along. So let's say, for instance, your knife has a damage dice pool of 4. So that one dice you just took out allows you to roll 4 damage dice. Now, every other success you add to that 4.
So you're gonna. How many more successes do you have?
I rolled 5.
You rolled 5 total.
I took
so
out
one of those equals 4. The extra 4 equal 4 more. So you have 8 dice to roll for your damage.
Of 8 dice I can roll.
Yes. So go ahead and roll 8 dice of damage against this poor, I assume, mortal dude who's about to get stabbed to death by a vampire.
And now what is, there's no DC on this. This is just a total of damage?
No, this is 6. You're looking for 6 again.
On damage, you're still looking for 6 or more.
I'm still looking for a number.
Yes.
That one is 3.
So you got
3 dice are above 6?
3 successes. So you do 3 points of lethal damage to whomever you're attacking. So at this point, if they are immortal, they cannot soak this damage. They just take the damage. If they are immortal, if they're another vampire, they have the opportunity to do a soak roll. So let's say, for instance, the vampire that you're stabbing has a stamina of 3. He has no fortitude. He has no armor. He gets to roll 3d10s. He rolls 3 successes. So he gets to knock off 3 of those dice.
So he takes no damage.
He takes no damage.
Okay.
That's the basic combat attack move. For some reason, the sheet says that all all damage attacks are dexterity. I'm allowing strength with weapons that are appropriate because that seems incredibly silly. Not to screw you out of things. Combat initiative is D10 plus dexterity plus wits plus celerity minus wound penalty.
All right, say that again. Initiative is
D10 plus your dex plus your wits plus your celerity minus wound penalty. And then that's just a number.
So I have a +9.
Yeah, so you're rolling a D10 plus 9 for initiative.
I have a +6. I got a 16.
Okay.
Fast as fuck.
I got 17.
Let's see. If your weapon that you're attacking your opponent is shorter than their weapon, you lose 1 dice from your attack roll.
That's cool.
Movement, you can walk 7 meters a turn. Jogging is 12 plus dexterity meters. Running is 20 plus 3 times dex. And then running plus action, you can only move half your running speed and take an action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Can you read all that again?
Walking is 7 meters a turn.
Okay.
Jogging is 12 plus your dexterity meters a turn. Running, or your combat speed, is 20 plus 3 times your dexterity a turn. And you can only move half your total move speed and still take an action. So if you move more than that, it's kind of like 2nd edition or Pathfinder,
So
1st edition.
my character would be, I could run 16 meters and attack.
Yes.
Okay.
There are, what are they called? Conditional modifiers for difficulties. So if somebody is blinded, you hit somebody with a bright flash of light, they have an additional 2 difficulty on all their attacks. So if the base is 6, now it's an 8. That does not count for the damage though. It only counts for the success of the attack roll. Dazed, it's essentially stunned. Immobilization, if you're immobilized, they have a +2 dice on attacks against you. Same thing if they're immobilized, you have +2 against them.
Okay.
Knockdown, if you get knocked down, you can use dexterity and athletics, difficulty 8, to prevent falling.
So if you get knocked down, you can get back up again?
Yes.
Never going to let you,
Amazing. I made it into the rules.
Let's see. Oh, that's right. The strength. The damage comes from strength. But the landing your attacks comes from dexterity.
Dex comes from attacks.
That makes sense.
Damage comes from strength.
Yeah.
Your accuracy of hitting is your dex. Your actual punching power is strength.
There are defensive actions that you can take. Think of it as Delta Green, where you have 1 action per turn. If you attack in your action, you're not defending. If you defend in your action, you're not attacking. So you can block, which is against brawl. Any hand-to-hand stuff, you do dexterity plus brawl, and you do what's called a contested roll. So if you roll 7 dice to an attack and the person you're attacking can do a 5 dice block. Every success that the defender has takes off 1 success of yours.
Right.
And that could either just lower the damage.
So it's directly you attack or defend?
Yes.
Why would you ever defend? Because you're not progressing in the battle if you defend.
I'm pretty sure that you can spend a willpower. I have to look that up.
Okay.
I mean, situationally, if I'm in a position where I am doing damage based off of my brawl, I will not be able to do that. But my dex is high enough potentially that I could probably do something with that.
No, but if you have to choose to attack or if me and you are in the fight to the death, and you have to choose either to do damage to me or negate damage from me, you are making 0 progress in this fight if you defend.
Yeah. In a 1-to-1 combat, that doesn't make any sense. If me and you are friends and allies, and we're in combat, but I can drag attention from the person, and they're attacking me, I can put myself into defensive stance while you are attacking.
Sure.
Because you're more valuable in attacking, and I can defend it better.
Sure, in a 2-on-1 situation.
Yeah, or in a group setting where we are isolating one of many.
You try to gain ire and
Yeah.
I have to look it up because I had the same reaction that you did when I first read through. And it's been a little bit since I've read.
I mean, I could see it situationally where you're trying to get something out of the combat that you're in that isn't involving you killing the person. But if you can just kind of rope-a-dope a little bit, I could see that being of value.
You've pissed somebody off. You're trying to preserve your humanity in the masquerade.
Yeah.
Just defend against their attacks.
Yeah.
You can dodge.
Buying time.
Which is usually for range attacks. So if somebody unloads a gun at you, you can use dexterity and athletics to dodge out of the way. And parry is specifically for melee attacks. And then with parry, if you get more successes than the attacker, then you can attack them with those successes.
Okay.
That also works too. If somebody melee attacks you, and you have, or somebody unarmed attacks you, and you parry with your melee weapon, you do damage to them if your parry is successful. And they have a bunch of different maneuvers, which realistically, a lot of the things that they have here are kind of just the same thing, like a basic strike, fists, dexterity plus brawl. Its accuracy is normal. No, there's no bonuses or penalties to hit. Your damage is just your strength. Then there's kicking, which is dexterity and brawl, +1 to difficulty, and then strength +1 is a damage. Weapon strike is based on your weapon damage. There's no other penalties there. You can bite someone in combat, which is dexterity and brawl, although it requires you to do a hold or a tackle first. And then that damage is strength +1. Claw them if you have claws. I don't think Brujas have claws unless you take the Protean.
Discipline.
I'm not sure how many you need in Protean, though. I think it's like a +2. You can disarm. You can hold, grapple. You can sweep, just to knock them down. These are all just suggestions, of course. If you could think of a maneuver you want to do in combat, if it fits into the narrative, we can figure out the rules as we go.
Okay, so it's a little like DCC, where you can kind of like, there are guidelines, goalposts of how a maneuver can be.
Yeah, like the feats of strength, was it called?
Yeah, the combat thing in DCC for warriors was like, if you can say a thing in a moment, if you can narratively suggest a way in which your abilities apply, it'll apply.
Mm-hmm. And then for range combat, shooting, if you have a burst weapon, you can fire off a burst attack. You can aim to make your accuracy better.
Aim as an action.
You can automatic fire, which adds 10 dice to your attack roll, but adds +2 to difficulty. So you can really shoot someone up. Strafing, which is you're just sort of blind firing kind of in an area. It lets you attack multiple targets. Same thing. You get +10 to your accuracy. The difficulty is 2 higher, and then you get to just shoot as many people as you want. As long as you hit every target in the area first, you can stack up more hits on them.
What if you don't hit every target? What if there's 4 targets and you only get 3 successes?
Then you only get to hit 3 of them.
Yeah. So, okay. So your initial points need to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Then you could start stacking.
Yes.
Yep.
You go fight with 2 weapons. Shoot with 2 weapons. You only have more difficulty for your offhand, unless you're ambidextrous, but we're not taking those. And then I think that's it. There's cover. So light cover, the attacker's difficulties increases by 1. Defender's difficulties is +0. Good cover is the defender's difficulty is +1. The attacker's is +2. Then really good cover, which is like everything but your head, is +2, and attackers is +3. Blood pool. So you guys are 13th generation vampires. You have a 10 in your blood pool, and you can only spend 1 blood point per turn. So you can do your awe spell, and that's all you can do for that turn, unless you also want to use celerity. Celerity allows you to use celerity itself, regardless of your blood pool maximum expenditure.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use as many blood pool.
Is there a limit to how many times I can use celerity?
What do you mean?
Once per turn.
It's
I
once per
imagine.
turn, correct?
It is once per turn.
Okay.
But you can get as many extra actions from celerity with blood pool expenditures for as many points you have in celerity. So if you have 2 points in celerity, you can get 2 extra actions for 2 blood points. And those 2 blood points don't count against your generational maximum.
Oh.
Okay.
Because celerity means going fast. With blood, you can heal yourself. So on your turn, you can use a reflexive action, which is a free action, to make a... Oh no. If you take an action on your turn, then you need to do a roll with a free action to see if you can heal on that turn as well. But generally, you just spend a blood point, I think, for 1 HP of healing. You can also temporarily increase a physical attribute by 1 dot per blood point, up to 1 higher than your regular max. So if you have 4 in dexterity, you can spend 1 blood point and have 5 in dexterity.
Oh, it's just a free currency to add to anything.
Pretty much. You can offer somebody else blood. So if another vampire desperately needs blood to live, you can feed them your own blood. You can also feed a mortal your blood. And that begins a blood bond. Doesn't matter if they're mortal or not. You can bind somebody to you by giving them your blood. The first time, they think you're kind of cool. The second time, they really like you. The third time, they're your thrall, and they're addicted to your blood. That's how you create ghouls, which are humans turned into thralls by vampires.
Okay.
And the third point of the blood bond is unbreakable. They are yours until they have completely detoxed, and no one else can blood bond them. They could get 2 points in blood bonding, but they can't hit the third one. You can only ever have 1 blood bond. The Tremere forcibly make all of their new clan members drink the trans somethingficated. I don't remember what's the name of when you say that this is Jesus's blood?
Oh, transmogrified? No.
Transfixiation or something like that.
Ooh, fuck. What is that called?
It's the same concept.
Yeah, that.
They feed that to their neonates, and then they have this sort of unshakable servitude to the other Tremere in the clan, the higher ups. You can spend 8 minus humanity blood points to be able to breathe, fornicate, and have human-like features. So if you have
transubstantiation.
There you go. The Tremere use transubstantiation to bond their new clan members to the clan. You can spend 8 minus humanity blood to make yourself seem more human. If you have 8 humanity, you can just seem human all the time. And of course, there is the cost to activate disciplines, which since you guys have celerity and potence, you're probably not going to be using that a lot, but you can use it to make yourself better in some things and sometimes. If you use awe, that's a blood point. You can earn blood by drinking it from humans, kindred, or animals. Each creature has its own sort of quality. Younger people's blood is better. Animals' blood is not very nourishing. It is possible to contract disease from blood, though you won't feel its effects. You can spread it. Vampires who go around spreading HIV will most likely get themselves cold because they're killing the herd.
What if it's just like chlamydia?
Yeah, they're fine. They might, put you in a box for a bit until you chill. But the herd's fine. They got antibiotics. You can take up to 2 points of blood from a human without harming them. 3 points will result in them, I believe, fainting. 4 points would hospitalize them. Yeah.
I was just going to ask, do they know that you've taken blood from them?
That's the thing. When a vampire feeds, what they do is they call it the kiss. It is a highly pleasurable act for both the victim and the vampire, unless they are. There's a specific the Giovanni. The Giovanni, their kiss causes immense pain in their victim, and the Assamites, if they feed on a vampire, cause immense pain to themselves. When you engage in the kiss, they're kind of in a trance. They don't actually know that you're feeding on them. I believe mortals always succumb as long as it's successful, but vampires are able to make willpower checks to break free. Once it is done, if you lick the wound, it closes. And then you can bounce.
And they're like entranced, and then they're like, what the fuck just happened to me?
Yes.
They don't know it. Okay.
Of course, you could always just, drain them till they're unconscious and hope they don't die. But, that there's always humanity issues involved with that. Let's see. There is an actual role if you want to just go hunting for someone to feed on.
As like a non-RP,
Yeah.
I want blood.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. For when it comes to soaking rolls, I believe we already went over that, but bashing plus fortitude. And then you have the damage. You have the total dice you take against.
What's fortitude?
Fortitude is another discipline. It is like
okay.
the stamina.
Gotcha.
The stamina discipline. Lethal, stamina plus fortitude. Aggravated is only fortitude. So aggravated damage is something you want to evade. Aggravated damage comes from fire, sunlight, and wounds caused by supernatural creatures. So a werewolf's claws is aggravated damage. Vampire's bite is aggravated damage.
And I can't stamina against those.
You can't stamina against those.
A wooden stake, is that aggravated?
No, actually, that is lethal. But being staked won't kill a vampire. It will, however, paralyze them if it gets them in the heart.
Ah.
So only bash and lethal can I stamina against.
Correct.
And then I just roll literally my stamina to reduce. So I have 3 stamina. I roll that to reduce oncoming damage.
Mm-hmm.
Oncoming successes. I
Yes.
reduce it by that number. Yeah, okay.
Frenzy. You can use self-control to avoid a frenzy when it's triggered with the following difficulties. The smell of blood when hungry is a +3 difficulty. +5 for you guys, I think. Yes, 5 for you guys. The sight of blood when hungry is +4. Being harassed is 4. Life-threatening situations is 4. Malicious taunts is 4. Physical provocation is 6. The taste of blood when hungry is 6. A loved one in danger is 7. Outright public humiliation is 8.
And these are all self-control rolls?
These are rolls if the frenzy is about to happen, you can roll your self-control against those.
Okay. And then define hungry.
I believe that is like when you're 4 points of blood or lower.
Okay.
I'll look that up just to make sure.
Well, I was wondering if it was like a narrative tool.
No, it is an actual.
It is based on mechanics.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you have that blood pool. It makes sense that
Yeah.
if that gets low, you start thinking about that guy that works at the bodega.
What else is on here that we need to know? You can only heal through the use of blood. There is no healing over time. Resting in wherever your lair is not going to heal you back to health. You're dead.
And blood is in exchange for heal.
Yes.
What if I go unconscious?
Unconscious. That's a good one.
Because then
that somewhere.
I can't do anything. I can't feed. I can't use my blood.
That is, for some reason, not on any of these sheets. When you go unconscious, it depends on how much blood you have in your blood pool. There is I believe if you have like 10 blood, you're down for an hour. And then when you're unconscious and not in torpor, which is another state of unconsciousness, you can use blood to heal yourself and get back up. If you are below a certain point, so you have no blood and you're incapacitated, you're now in torpor, you can't do anything about that. You're just out for a certain amount of time. But when you're unconscious, you can use blood. When you're incapacitated, there's no unconscious. When you're incapacitated, you can use blood to heal yourself on your turn and get back up.
Okay.
If you don't have any blood, you're unconscious for a certain amount of time. And that amount of time, it's depending on, I think, your generation, and I'm not actually sure. I had to look that up. It's another one of those things where there's a lot of heavy rules in this.
Yeah.
But despite all the heavy rules, this is a very narrative-focused game. It's a weird one.
I mean, I think some of the stuff you said, where there are caveats in the way you do things that are just kind of, you give the bounds to the player to be narratively explicit.
Again, my ever pushback against that is that, like, so does every game. Like, if you have a strength thing and you're trying to do a strength move for roleplay reasons, just roll strength in whatever system you're rolling in.
It's just the game is explicit about if you have a maneuver that you want to use. Yeah, just kind of make something up and then combine your attribute and whatever. The DM will describe what. But yes, almost every single game, I want to do something. The DM is just like
there to figure out how to do something. That's why I said, like, truly. I mean, doubling down on not disagreeing with Gray here is I've said it before, where it's like, if you have a game that just doesn't have features and stuff, which this is relatively featureless. In fact, the features that we have just double down on rolls, then what you have here is a base system for rolling as arbitrated by your DM or your GM or whatever you're called in the system, which means you can do anything because the GM just attributes rolls to it.
Mm-hmm.
The features in this system just help you with those rolls. So, like, again, it's where I say that, like, mechanics take over in other systems is, like, when you have a feature that has explicit, specific wording of what you can do in a very niche scenario, the more of those you have, the more you run into, well, you don't have the ability to do that because you've not unlocked that feature.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas features in this game are just like, oh, you have, I mean, it has some, like, you have spells. But, like, for all of my features here, they just, like, my contacts adds to my rolls to attempt to find a contact. My armory stuff adds to my rolls to attempt to find my guns. My celerity adds to my rolls for dexterity. My potency adds to my rolls for strength. So as long as I'm describing something that to the GM slots under, like, oh, you're trying to do something strong, I can do it.
Sure.
I can do anything because we have a list of rules that only adds to rolling. And the DM can decide what you're going to roll to try and achieve what you're gunning for.
Sure.
Which is why I agree that this is a very narrative-driven game. Even though there's a lot of rules, the rules all come down to the crunch of rolling. And rolling, what you roll is dictated by the GM, and what the GM is dictating is based on what you're attempting to do. It means you can attempt to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree. Narrative first. You just try to do stuff, and your GM will tell you what to roll, and all the weird math behind it.
So when you are incapacitated and have no blood, what determines how long it takes for you to be allowed to rise again is your humanity. 10 humanity, 1 day. 9, 3 days. 8, 1 week. 7, 2 weeks. 6, 1 month. 5, 1 year. 4, 1 decade. 3, 5 decades. 2, 1 century. 1, 5 centuries. No humanity, a millennium plus.
I imagine, unless someone else gives you blood.
No.
No?
So if you enter torpor, you have no blood and you must wait at least that long to get back up. If somebody feeds you blood within that time, you're then allowed to make an awakening roll.
Yeah, okay.
And get back up.
You can attempt to get back up, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's if you've gotten yourself in a situation where you have no blood and go unconscious, yeah, you could be looking at decades.
Oh, millennia.
And when you go to sleep, you're essentially entering torpor.
Yeah.
So you should probably feed before you go to sleep if you have no sleep, if you have no blood. And every time you wake up, you spend a blood point. So you have to hunt periodically.
Yeah.
And then I think from that, that's all the basic rules.
Or
there
just
are
waking up in general costs of blood.
Yeah,
Okay.
every night you awaken. Aside from that, there are things called extended rolls. So if you want to do a thing over a period of time, you would say, "Hey, I want to build a silencer for my shotgun."
Sure.
Okay, I'm like, all right, that'll be,
Crafts
and dexterity, and you need 12 successes.
Sure.
So you just keep rolling until you hit those 12 successes. If you botch one of those rolls, then you gotta start all over.
What's a botch again?
Botching. So botching is the form of critical failure in this game. Whenever you roll a 1 on one of your D10 dice for a skill check or an attack roll, every 1 that you make needs to be subtracted from your successes.
Yeah, okay.
So you put 1 success and 1 botch aside.
Oh, when we did that test, I rolled plenty of 10s.
It's fine.
And 1s.
That's fine.
I forgot about that.
What did 10s get you?
10s, if you are doing an action in which one of your specialties that you come up with, kind of like Legend of the Mist, apply to this roll, your 10s count as 2 successes.
Okay.
Now,
so you only crit succeed if you're specialized.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you check your botches and you have no successes left and no botches left, it's just a failed roll. Regular roll failure. But if you have botches left in your dice roll, now it's a botch. It's a critical failure. Something bad happens instead of the thing you wanting not happening.
Is it okay? So something narratively bad happens as per the GM.
Yes.
Okay.
So the example that they use in the book is, you're running away. You're running away from a horde of Sabbat vampires that want to kick your ass. You're trying to get to a freight elevator. You're using your athletics plus dexterity to speed away from them. You fail. So what does that mean? The thing that you wanted doesn't happen. The freight elevator ended up leaving without you because somebody called it up there. So now you're trying to find a new way out. Nothing bad has happened yet, but something bad can be happening soon. So you roll again to go up the stairs. You're running up the stairs now. This time you botch it. Now, this could be you trip, you hit yourself falling down the stairs, you roll into the Sabbat vampires chasing you. Or some other Sabbat vampire, 1 floor up, decided to take a forklift and jam it into the doorway. that's a botch. Something bad has happened.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's all we really need to know.
We do have some things on the top of our sheet. I don't know how much we need to do. Obviously names, but Chronicle, Nature, Demeanor, Concept, and Sire.
Chronicle is just like the overarching story
Okay.
of our game.
Okay.
Nature is, so they have natures in this book to tell you how you should be playing your character, essentially. Optionally, or maybe not optionally, the storyteller will reward you temporary willpower for playing into that character in that way. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
You guys are good role players. You don't need nature. Demeanor, I think, is the same thing.
It sounds similar.
It is. Concept, that's more roleplay stuff. It's like what your concept of your character is supposed to be. I am the tough Bruja, former gangbanger kind of guy. Or I'm the bouncer Bruja guy. I punch people who make problems.
And I imagine Sire will come after you write the story.
Sire will come up with the story, because that is your sire, unless you guys want to make up your own sires, but I don't think that matters for this time. I think we're all responsible enough to just let the storyteller handle everything. Yeah.
Okay. So just name.
Yeah.
Just
name. You could put 13 in the generation, and you could put Bruja in the clan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to write in a background that you need to incorporate, or else I'm not going to be happy.
Oh, yes. Well, you see, you're standing...
Narratively.
Firstly.
You're standing in the middle of nowhere, and suddenly the sun rises and shines only on you.
Narratively.
Slav sees this as Nyx is standing there and then just bursts into ash as his cranium and spine fall to the ground, also turning to ash.
You almost feel like the sun smiles and looks at you. It says, "Dare me."
Yeah. While perfectly fine myself, I will look to the sky and raise a fist and shout for my sire, "Placeholder name!"
Okay, so both part of the same clan. Do you guys have a general background that you can give me?
I was imagining, like you were saying, street thugs.
Mm-hmm.
Got found, got embraced. Now we're just, we were lackeys for someone else. Now we're lackeys for vampires.
Okay.
That works.
All right. So I guess the general open to this one shot would be you're both Bruja, I think fledgling is what they call the brand new sired childers, is you've been shown the ropes slightly. You've been taught through the traditions, what they are. You got the masquerade, what that means, what not to do, what to do when you did something not to do. You've been taught about the domain of the area. You know who the prince, the Camarilla prince, the leader, the lord of the region. You know who the sheriff is by name, maybe not by sight. You know who I forget what the prelate, who is sort of the not the judge, because judge is another thing. Maybe it is judge, but they're the ones who sort of, I don't want to say enforce the traditions, but they monitor them in a way. You know what it means to hunt. You know what it means to be Camarilla. You know what it means to be Anarch and Sabbat. The general ideas. Maybe you're not too intricately known with what each clan is and what they do. And so, but the basics of what it means to be a vampire now in the city of Los Angeles.
I was going to ask, are we in Gotham or Los Angeles or
Los Angeles,
New York? Or
that's where Bloodlines takes place. That's where they have a bunch of books for like Night by Cairo, New York, Los Angeles, all that stuff. So the general nature of being a vampire is as fledglings, and now you're being pushed out into becoming neonates, which is like the step up. Like, I understand what I am, and now I'm living my vampire life. I'm no longer being guided by the sire completely.
We're just past the proving ourselves stage.
You're going into the proving yourself stage.
Oh, okay.
Is this rolling back time a little, early 2000, or is it like modern 2020s?
2005, 2010.
Okay.
So smartphones, tablets.
Okay.
All that exists.
Okay.
Understood.
Right.
MTV is still really prominent.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
That's what I care about.
I like this. This seems fun. Again, I feel like we're falling into a system where it's like I like this and it seems fun. I don't know how many stories I would have to tell in this type of setting, but it looks like a good time. Mechanically, I like it.
So far, to me, what it's gonna be is like I'm playing a Gray game.
It's Delta Green with superpowers.
No, it's just hey, Gray's telling a story, and there's gonna be some nuances of how I roll dice and what dice I roll, but for the most part, yeah, we're just gonna have fun.
It's gonna be. It just reads very Delta Green with superpowers to me.
Yeah.
Delta Green, except I don't suck as a character.
I also do like that we are going to be in LA because we'll be in the vicinity of a desert that I could get us lost in. So, like, that's the part that I'm.
Well, I don't really know what we're doing out here, and sunrise is in
Down there,
an hour.
the old Dusty 5 freeway.
But Nick, sunrise doesn't come for another 6 hours. Well,
That's Route 66 over there.
6 hours, but what if our car breaks down, you know? We might as well just give up.
You know, you have allies in contact. Well,
Yeah, might contact one of my contacts. Let them finish the mission. That's what allies are for.
it's also, we're in a metropolitan area, so you could talk like these. I came here in the 90s.
In the 90s. What the fuck? Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to check it out. I've been wanting to play vampires for a long time.
Me too.
So
This was the first actual TTRPG I looked up to want to play was Vampire,
Oh, really?
but I never really got a chance and I never really took the chance because that book is just
Yeah, it's
so
very
much.
intimidating. Yeah.
So I just played Bloodlines again, which I highly recommend. Everyone should go play it.
that works. If you, especially for a game like this, where like so much of it that you need to know isn't really like the mechanics you explained pretty thoroughly, pretty quickly.
Mhm.
So much of it that you need to know is the politics of the world, is the
Mhm.
masquerade
Yeah.
part of things.
Yeah.
The vampire part, mechanically, easy. The masquerade part, fucking multiple volumes of Bibles that
Yeah.
you have to read to understand all that shit. Or play a game from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Love it. Cool. All right.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited to be a low-level thug vampire. Man, it would have been so different if we chose the pretty ones. What a different game that would have been so entirely.
LA would have worked fine.
It would have. I'm just saying, what a different game it would have. We would have been influencer fucking vampires instead of street thugs.
Well, 2005, 2010, influencer wouldn't have been as.
You get what I mean.
Yeah.
YouTube was starting up. You know, you could have been the first vampires on YouTube.
We would have been just
The first
TV.
vampires
That's not
on
really.
YouTube.
That, hey, 2011. All right, I got it. My favorite streamer started making a living on Justin TV. Okay, just saying.
All right. Well, we'll see what all this masquerade business
If you
is
were the
about.
pretty vampires, you could have been the first vampires on Pornhub.
Huh?
Well,
All right. Well, I'm excited to play some Masquerade. Been waiting to play it for a long time.
yeah, seems like fun.
All right. Well, we will catch you next time for episode 1 or session 1 of our Vampires in the Masquerade, to be named at a future date on System Exploration. Thank you very much.
Bye.